The World Cup final is set. Argentina advances after their 2-1 win over England yesterday. They'll play Spain. Lamine Yamal versus Messi. That'll be this Sunday at 3 o'clock. And if you're interested, the third place match will be Saturday at 5 between France and England. We've got the Sabres openers for next season. They'll be on the road to open on October 1st against Columbus, and the home opener is October 3rd against the Blackhawks. Byram and Greenway revenge game right off the rip. Paul Hamilton has more at our website, WGR550.com. Also, Chris Chelios says he's spoken to Patrick Kane, and he's deciding between Buffalo and Chicago. Looking around the NFL, ESPN's Rich Cimini reports Geno Smith's assault allegations case has been declared inactive by police. The Athletic's Vic Tafur reports that George Kittle, dealing with the Achilles injury, is ahead of schedule, and ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that he doesn't think the Commanders are going to bring in Brandon Ayuk at this stage. In baseball, the Mets, they play the Phillies tonight at 7:10. The rest of the schedule picks back up tomorrow, and also plays underway at the Open Championship in the PGA. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
Joe did not win that day.
No, I was undone by a 70-foot putt that you made on the final hole.
Some of us come through in big moments. What can I say?
Was that to tie, though, or was that to win?
I think it was to win.
It was to beat me.
Yeah.
Okay. But we were going to the 18th green with it still being a question.
Right, because I could have three-putted. And
from 70 feet?
Yeah,
I mean, of
instead
course you
I
could.
just made the bomb, and I won that day. Yeah.
It's almost, you won in such a lucky way because it was such a big putt that I ended up feeling like, okay, maybe, I'm not going to take the crown because I needed to win, but
yeah.
I feel good about it.
Tell that to Argentina, right? Just because you won at the end doesn't mean you didn't win.
Uh-huh.
I put a Twitter poll up about celebrating others' defeats we can get to. Hey, everybody, good morning. Jeremy and Joe. You got a big golf tournament coming up.
Hopefully the smoke dissipates.
Already I'm wondering about your, are you ready in big moments? As that lays out right there, you had a moment. You're playing a member guest. Have you made your playoff before?
I've not made the playoff before.
I'll get in that playoff.
We've come close, but we have not made the playoff.
In that playoff where you play in front of a lot of people, that's a good time.
Yeah.
Coming up today, Brian Koziel at 6:30 on the Open Championship. Pat Hammer at 7:30 on Smoke. Just Smoke. And Joe Yerdon will join us at 8 o'clock, little Sabres chatter as well.
Sabre smoke.
Yeah, is there more Sabre smoke? Should we bust out the helometer for the Connor Hellebuck sweepstakes? Because the Winnipeg Jets posted 11 pictures about their season opening game, and in 11 pictures did not include a single picture of their franchise goalie. 11 pictures?
Mm-hmm. He's the best player in franchise history.
Not in 11.
He's on the roster still.
Did they have a cool dozen? And then someone came in and said, hey, hold that one right there. Hold on.
There is no way someone didn't tell the admin
to not put
no
Hellebuck in one of 11.
Correct.
Crazy. So, we'll talk about that with Joe Yerdon and get his thoughts on the Sabres offseason as well coming up at 8 o'clock. It's Thursday, which means we've got shots of audio. We've got live sports.
Yeah, we
Bob
do.
McIntyre -3. All right.
I don't like how sunny it is. at the Open Championship.
It does look sunny. There is
odd.
There is not a lot of green out there.
No.
It's a lot of brown. I mean, what you're looking at, it's like what?
Yeah, it's brown, Scottish gray. Or is it Scottish? Is even in England, isn't it? Yeah, it's links.
Yeah,
links golf. You're gonna get brown around the green. The green is of course going to be green. You would never see that being a different color. It's not really even dead grass, right? It's just a different It's a different type of grass.
I don't know. Let's bring in a. Joe knows the arborists. Bring in a grassologist or something like that to let us know the strains of grass that we have here. But I had a question for everybody. Were you all watching Argentina, England?
Yes.
There's some incredible numbers on the finish of that game. But the first thing I thought was, when you watch a game like that, was anybody heavily invested in that game? I mean, maybe you had if England won, you won $100. Like, if you're not heavily invested, you have to not be heavily invested to answer this question. I wanted England to win, but I wouldn't consider myself heavily invested. Mm-hmm. When you see a team lose like that, collapse, devastation, something that they're going to think about for 50 years, do you feel sadness for them? Or do you laugh about it happening? That's the question I want to know. They show England players. They show people in the stands dressed like knights all slumped over. When they show the sad faces, do you feel sad? Or do you feel like a schadenfreude? Right? That's it, the happiness at others' misfortune. Do you feel any sort of, at least it's not us, it's somebody else, right? Is there enjoyment in others' pain?
I end up feeling like I want to laugh. So I guess enjoyment when
you enjoy it.
A team that has that history is going through that. Maybe it's because it's England, but I don't know why I would be rooting against England. I'm not participating in the let's go they choked in 1776 and they're choking in 2026.
Right.
Like those are funny. Like those jokes are funny. It's not the reason I'm rooting against them for any reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the manager, maybe it's certain individual players on the team because I'm a Premier League fan. But I'm definitely not rooting for England when it happens. So yeah, when they blow the lead like that, I'm enjoying it. I think what made me enjoy it yesterday even more, though, is I hate in sports when a team gets a lead and plays the way they did. I hate hockey. I hate it. Like, we're up 2-1. Let's pack it in for 15 minutes. Let's not play the sport anymore.
Yeah.
We've been playing great for 40 minutes. Let's do something totally different because we're winning now. The football, same thing. I'm up by 7 in the fourth quarter. I can't actually play normal anymore. I've got to run the ball every single play. When teams take that approach, I hate it. And England just did that more than anybody's done it in the World Cup in 70 years. The way that they packed it in. They had 12% possession after winning 1-0. That was the lowest in a World Cup match when winning for more than 10 minutes in 60 years.
I did see that. Yep, that exact number from
Opta Joe had that stat.
Opta Joe, is that Opta Stats? Is that
I think it's a branch of Opta Stats.
Is that you? Is that an alter
no,
ego?
It's not me. Okay. I'm not Opta Joe. So I think I was already against England, but when they decided to play that way, I thought it made it even better that they blew it.
I can respect that big time. I typically feel bad for those people, the fans or the players. I think it's just in my nature. I'm a little hyper empath at times. Like I kind of feel the pain, but for certain teams and certain organizations, or in this case, certain national squads, I can get to okay, I can enjoy this.
Yeah.
Like Britain to me is like the original big bad evil empire, and so I can get to, okay, I like watching that guy lose. And so last night to me, or yesterday afternoon to me, was pretty I was pretty okay watching that sort of collapse. And I also was rooting for Messi, so there was a little bit of that. And the Bellingham Messi interaction made me pretty excited about watching how Messi would sort of handle that, and I think that was fun. So I enjoyed last night, but I'd say on the overall, I typically I feel for those people. But England can take a hike last night.
Yeah, if it's like the Patriots, I'm going to laugh all day, every day.
Exactly.
If it's a team I can't stand, the Bruins or something like that, I'm going to laugh all day, every day. But that's one where, man, I think about, I know people that are English that went to games this year and are probably devastated by how that went. I can't help but, you know how it works. There's going to be a Bills fan saying like, "Oh, that was a Bills loss. That was a Bills collapse or whatever it was." And every team has their collapses like this. But you're so right about the whole park the bus, trust the defense. They decided to trust the defense. Is Thomas Tuchel walking into the postgame saying one goal should be enough to win? Right?
Right.
Because a lot of times one goal is enough to win. But in a game like that,
you're playing the best player of all time.
All right. And you're playing the guy that scores ultimately the game winner. I mean, he's a super sub that comes out and scores all the time. He scored against Cabo Verde.
Yep.
Argentina has not yet led at the 90-minute mark in the knockout stage.
Yeah, that's insane.
They've won every knockout game. They have not yet led at the end of 90.
That's incredible.
Stoppage time.
Yeah.
And extra time for every single goal.
Yeah, their winners have come in the 111th minute, 92nd minute, 112th minute, and 92nd minute. That's when they've gone ahead in these 4 games against Cabo Verde, Egypt, Switzerland, and England. And I think that's making me want to root for them more too. Like it is developing for me personally how the games are going is when you're getting moments like this. They're giving you moments. They've made every game so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And some of that is, I guess, how they've played before. They're getting it and saving it at the death of these games. But Messi is delivering on it.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I mean, the pass, Martinez, right, is the one who scores the goal.
Lautaro Martinez.
When he scores.
I know him. I'm a true ball knower because I had him
knower.
in FIFA Ultimate Team many, many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
What club does he play for? Do you know that?
Inter Milan.
All right, there you go. When he scores that goal and everyone realizes he scored the goal, freeze frame it as everybody else on Argentina realizes the ball's going to the net, and where do they turn? Nobody runs to Martinez. They all, like McAllister, who plays for Liverpool, another reason I like Argentina because he's one of my guys. He immediately turns to Messi with his arms out wide, and everybody runs at Messi like he scored. Which, I mean, because, his contribution on that goal was, he made it easy for him, didn't he? He had the whole net to put a header into.
Yep.
So, Messi, in giving moments at the end of these games, I think has made them my rooting interest as well. I'm not going to lie, like, I knew about the Falkland Islands and all that in the 80s. Like, I knew of that conflict. I did not know Argentina still cares that much about it. Wow, do they hate England?
Yes, they do.
Hate England.
It is a big rivalry game. And
I mean, I don't know if England hates them, but
I think they do. Like, the first 20 minutes of that game was a hockey game where they're just dropping gloves and scrumming for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Like Sabres Lightning, the famous March game. The first period, it was 1-0, and it was a bunch of fights.
Right.
Like, we all hate you. You're not going to do this to us. And that's kind of what the first 20 minutes of that game yesterday was. It was theater. The sport just delivers on the whatever it is, whatever it makes you feel inside. I want to say that I've learned this about this sport that I've watched a lot and loved a lot for the last 15 years. Not as someone that grew up loving the sport, but I do now. Mm-hmm. It makes me feel like overtime hockey does. When it's 1-0 in the 74th minute, or even sometimes if it's scoreless and there's chance going back and forth, it makes me feel like overtime hockey because it's hard to score, but somebody could score, and one mistake could make it happen, so you have to never look away. And, man, that game yesterday was just like when Argentina ties it, you think, all right, I'm ready for some extra time. Let's see if England can regroup and get to extra time. But then you immediately realize England's subs, they've gone all defensive, and they're not in a position to try and counterattack.
No.
It was a disaster for England. Total disaster. The same people that say, don't park the bus. I mean, there's a little bit of a call yourself out here, if you will. Maybe not that many of you as there used to be. The same people will want a football team to punt on 4th and 2 to give the ball back to Messi.
Right.
England decided to punt on 4th and 2 for 35 minutes. Just like, keep giving the ball to him. It's fine. Keep giving the ball to him. The completed passes, the possession, you said like 88-12 is what it was, 88% to 12%?
That was for the final.
Okay. After they scored,
minutes.
it might have been 88-12, which is
No, it was 30. Sorry, it was 30 minutes that they only had 12 possession. So it was 88-12 over the final 30 minutes of the game. Yeah.
Nuts. Totally nuts. For a team that looked like they were doing just fine. Then again,
Right, you're England. You're not Cape Verde. You're not Curacao. You are England.
everybody
You have Bellingham. You have Declan Rice. You have Gordon. Like you have elite players littered throughout your lineup. Why are you packing it in like that? You're not like that. That is less of that would be like that wouldn't be like the Browns having a lead on the Bills or the Chiefs and deciding, all right, let's pack it. Let's run the ball. Let's try to get this clock gone.
it's the Ravens. You're a top 4 team.
Right, it's the Bills doing it.
It's sure, yeah.
Honestly. And that makes it much worse when you have an amazing team like that with so much talent and that's how you opt to play. Brutal.
Twitter poll is up. How does it hit you? Do you have sadness, pain, look away? Do you laugh, enjoy it, and maybe take some solace knowing that it's not us and that it does happen to other people? Joe Kelly, how about you? Sadness?
I feel for them because I do understand the pain. You thought you had it and then it's ripped away from you. But also, it is England. They are kind of like the evil empire, if you will. If it were the Patriots, like in the Super Bowl, I was laughing at it. So
yeah.
I'm laughing at them, unfortunately, now. But that's where I'm at with this. I feel like it depends on who it is. If it was a smaller country, whatever, more of an underdog, like say Holland made it this far and got bounced, and Messi did what he did against them. Like I'd feel for Norway there, but England I don't really feel for in this situation. I understand, but I don't.
How about the manager saying no regrets?
Well, guess who should not manage them at the next World Cup?
No regrets.
Thomas Tuchel should not manage them.
The team gave everything. We were very, very close. No regrets. None?
I mean,
Not one?
you should have some.
You should have some regrets.
You lost the game.
How could you not have regrets? I have regrets driving from home to work in the morning. If I'm like, maybe I should have done this instead. Maybe I should have taken a left here. This guy has no regrets. Crazy.
Yeah, it's tough.
Worse than Christian Pulisic saying that, he'll be okay now. So we get a final that's going to be Messi and Argentina against Spain, and that will do some serious numbers on a Sunday afternoon. Sunday, 3 o'clock, the Open Championship will end. Good news, everybody in England, you will not have to worry about any sort of conflicts or getting to a television to see the game because England won't be in it. But
Correct.
that's going to be some big numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you got superstars.
You got Messi
involved.
and whatever. You got Messi. And he has delivered so much. He's the opposite of what Ronaldo was this Cup. Ronaldo he might be old and shouldn't be out there for Portugal, and maybe they're better without him. Mm-hmm. And Messi is, if Argentina didn't have him, they'd probably be toast. They wouldn't be here.
Oh, they would.
They wouldn't be here.
They would not be here.
They have other great players, but he is the straw that stirs the drink still.
Did you see Lamine Yamal as the star for Spain? Did you see the baby photo of him with Messi 20 years ago?
Yeah.
That that was just for a photo shoot, like in a commercial. It just happened to grow up to be like, oh, this is the next superstar that's gonna play. This is like, isn't this like when Brady and Mahomes met in a Super Bowl? Like the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Although I don't, need to subscribe to that for Brady, but whatever. Like passing of the torch, one icon in the sport is making it to the final as the teenager is getting there. Because he's going to rule the sport for the next 15 years.
You would think. I mean, you've got others.
He doesn't
You've
play
got
up
others.
front, but
right, you've got others. You got Mbappe, of course, who's going to pass Messi with most goals at the World Cup.
He also might. Did you know that the third place game? We get this third place game on that's on Saturday.
France and England, yeah.
France and England. Did you know that the third place game goals count? So the game matters for. Like, I saw, like, will Mbappe play in the game? Like, should I care enough about it? Like, well, this was before yesterday. Like, it might be Mbappe versus Messi in the third place game. And why would they play? Because they're both chasing a record, and the goals count. And they might be going for, of course, golden boot at this tournament. So
The fact
I think Mbappe could pass him this tournament still. I don't know how far back he is all time.
Yeah, that the goals could count is kind of goofy because you already have an additional play-in knockout stage game.
Right.
So if you could have an additional knockout stage game and a third place game, you could play 2 more games than somebody else could possibly play at the World Cup. But
Yeah, Mbappe's 1 goal behind Messi all time. So he could become the all-time leading scorer at the World Cup in the third place game. And then if Messi doesn't score in the final, he could leave this tournament number 1 all time.
should it count?
No. Should the goals count?
Why not?
It's not even you're playing to win the World Cup. You've been eliminated. You're scoring goals after you I guess then I would say you should not count goals in the group stage after you've been eliminated. But I don't think the game should really exist, personally. I'm not a big third place game guy though.
Yeah, there's not much on the line. It'd be one thing if the winner of the third place game got to host the next World Cup or something like that, but that's not exactly how that works.
That would be something.
That would be something, but
That would matter a lot, yeah.
But really, what does it matter? It would matter
doesn't
it
really.
would matter for a country like if it is, we keep saying Cabo Verde, or some team that could
Sure.
hang third place as a real accomplishment, as opposed to France and England, who for them,
They're disappointed.
yeah, third place is annoying.
I asked you, like, when the tournament began, like, if the U.S. went on a miraculous run and pulled off upsets and they made it to the semis and lost, would we care about the third place game for them? Like, if they were in it this weekend, would we care?
We might just want to watch them again, because we wouldn't be mad at them. We would be thrilled that they got this far.
Right.
Do I want to watch Mbappe play? I mean, the game's going to be on, so I probably will.
I don't know if I'll stick with it, though, because of the lack of meaning.
It might just not have the intensity.
I also saw that you mentioned like the host country, like, oh, you should get to host it. Argentina is hosting 1 game at the next World Cup.
So can I tell you one conspiracy theory I read about that?
Okay.
The tournament starts in Argentina and South America, so to commemorate 100 years ago. Then it gets played in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco.
Right.
And by doing that, they satisfy 3 continents so that in the 2030 World Cup, they could just come back to the U.S.
Wait, one more time. They would
Because next World Cup will have games in South America, Europe, and Africa.
They will count that as,
Playing in all of those confederations' home continents.
and then they'll come back to,
and they could just come back to the U.S. in 2030 if they wanted to. Or they could go to...
in 2034, you mean?
Yes.
Because that will be the 2030.
2034. They could go back to South Korea. It would basically free them up. They would check boxes on what they had to do.
Man,
and they could go anywhere.
If South America, though, loses a World Cup because we played 1 game
I think
on the continent.
I think that's part of what they're thinking.
3 games, by the way. Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay are all hosting games.
Okay. Well, good for them.
Will Messi play because there's a World Cup game in Argentina?
No, he'll be an ambassador. How old is he now? 39? Could he still play at 43?
Won't still be good. I mean, at this rate, he looks like he'll be able to play at 43. Maybe he'll be the... Listen, we live in an era now where Brady played to 45, not playing a position where you have to run around, I know. LeBron looks like he'll be able to play until he's 43. Messi is running around out here. There was a play yesterday. It was the one where... who got a yellow card? Someone from England got a yellow card. Messi, held off 3 dudes at different times, the strength that he had to make it through before they, chopped him down at the legs. That was, the first scrum. I think Argentina wanted to fight after that play. I'm like, this dude is still running past people and around people, and, oh, look, he's little. At least I'll be able to push him. No, you can't do that. Lower body strength. But, right, projecting 4 years out, I know is a lot to expect that he'd be able to go in 4 years. But maybe.
803-0550. Somewhere, someone in the United States is saying if all of our 5'9" athletes played, we would just have a Messi. Somewhere.
Yeah, we don't hear that point.
Somewhere.
The day after he plays, we're not hearing that.
You don't get that too much. Brian Koziel on the Open Championship, which is at Royal Birkdale. He'll join us next. Plenty of chatter to get to. We should really dig into that Hellebuck thing that he's not featured in 11 pictures. Closer and closer to Bill's training camp, 2 weeks away from that. And, lots to get to today. So join us, 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550 on WGR. When you see a team lose like that, collapse, devastation, something that they're going to think about for, like 50 years, do you feel sadness for them or do you laugh about it happening? That's the question I want to know. They show England players, they show people in the stands dressed like knights all slumped over, When they show the sad faces, do you feel sad or do you feel like a schadenfreude, right? That's it, the happiness at others' misfortune. Do you feel any sort of, at least it's not us, it's somebody else, right? Is there enjoyment in others' pain?
I end up feeling like I want to laugh. So I guess enjoyment when
You enjoy it.
a team that has that history is going through that. Maybe it's because it's England, but I don't know why I would be rooting against England. I'm not participating in the let's go they choked in 1776 and they're choking in 2026.
Right.
Like those are funny. Like those jokes are funny. It's not the reason I'm rooting against them for any reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the manager. Maybe it's certain individual players on the team because I'm a Premier League fan. But I'm definitely not rooting for England when it happens. So, yeah, when they blow the lead like that, I'm enjoying it. I think what made me enjoy it yesterday even more, though, is I hate in sports when a team gets a lead and plays the way they did. I hate hockey. I hate it. Like, we're up 2-1. Let's pack it in for 15 minutes. Let's not play the sport anymore.
Yeah.
We've been playing great for 40 minutes. Let's do something totally different because we're winning now. The football, same thing. I'm up by 7 in the fourth quarter. I can't actually play normal anymore. I've got to run the ball every single play. When teams take that approach, I hate it. And England just did that more than anybody's done it in the World Cup in like 70 years. The way that they packed it in. They had 12% possession after winning 1-0. That was the lowest in a World Cup match when winning for more than 10 minutes in 60 years.
I did see that. Yep, that exact number from
Opta Joe had that stat.
Opta Joe.
The World Cup final is set. Argentina advances after their 2-1 win over England yesterday, and they'll play Spain. Yamin Yamal versus Messi. That'll be Sunday at 3 o'clock. If you're interested, the third place match will be Saturday at 5 between France and England. We've got the Sabres openers for next season. They'll be on the road to open on October 1st against Columbus, and then the home opener is October 3rd against the Blackhawks. Byram and Greenway, revenge game right off the rip. Paul Hamilton has more on our website, WGR550.com. Also, Chris Chelios said he's spoken to Patrick Kane, and he's deciding between Buffalo and Chicago. Around the NFL, ESPN's Rich Cimini reports Geno Smith's assault allegation case has been declared inactive by police, and ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that he doesn't think the Commanders are going to bring in Brandon Ayuk at this stage. In baseball, the Mets play the Phillies tonight at 7:10. The rest of the schedule picks back up tomorrow, and also play underway at the Open Championship. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
On the tee from the USA, the defending champion, Scotty Scheffler.
Open Championship is underway from Royal Birkdale. I'm going to talk with Brian Koziel of Tee to Green. Also, maybe get a thought on the Sabres from him here. Good morning, everybody. Jeremy and Joe. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. What a proper introduction for Scotty Scheffler.
Yes.
I love how that sounds.
Yes, indeed. Brian, first question. Is the winning score at this tournament going to be minus 50? Everybody is going low early. We've got Scheffler minus 3 through 5. There's a guy minus 3 through 3. Is it expected to be a manageable course for these guys?
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be low for sure. The conditions and the weather set up for it. It's super firm, and I've heard the word crispy used quite a bit this week.
Crispy.
I think.
Crispy, yeah.
Yes, I think. I think we're going to see definitely double digits under par for sure this week at Royal Birkdale. It's a course that you have to be really accurate with compared to maybe some of the other ones in the open rotation. But I think overall. Normally, we see the weather at some point come into play, and it's supposed to be essentially 70s and dry, which is kind of, I guess maybe different. Normally, we get 1 or 2 days where we're talking about the weather or the wind or rain, and it doesn't look like we're going to have that being affected at all. I know maybe people, as they wake up and tune on the coverage this week, they're going to be like, it's one of those weeks at the Open where the course has got some brownness to it. Remember, the Royal and Ancient that set up this tournament, they really don't care if the winning score is minus 25 or plus 5. They kind of let Mother Nature decide it, and that's kind of part of what the, I guess vibe is around this tournament, is that there doesn't have to be a score. The U.S. Open, we know they want it to be even par, and other tournaments have their stick. The Open says, look at whatever Mother Nature gives to us, that's how the tournament's going to play, and going to play firm and fast. Jordan Spieth said this week in one of his practice rounds, he hit a 5-iron off a tee and it rolled out 300 yards. So I don't think this week we're going to be talking about people like having to overpower the golf course. I think everybody's going to hit it far because of how firm the conditions are.
Do you like that? Do you like a major where we're just going to see scoring like crazy?
I mean, I guess in my ideal world, if I was to define a major championship, I'd like it to play harder. But I guess as long as it's the same for everybody, in one sense, it'll be exciting because we're going to have guys that can make a lot of moves and move up and down the leaderboard. So I guess in that sense, it'll be fine. I guess I'm okay with it. I'm not anti it being high. I guess if I was going to pick it, I guess I would say I'd rather have it be a little bit harder. But I'm not going to be like hating on it in any way. I think.
The thing you could get is like elite shot making not getting, punished because, you missed it by, 6 inches, so now it's rolling off the green. Like sometimes you'll get at the U.S. Open. And, like, so far, Brian Scheffler's already kind of putting on a mastery of this. So I think right now, is putting for birdie a little bit further away, but he had been within, like, 15 feet, I saw, like, on each of his first 5 holes.
Yeah, and this is where Scheffler has been so dominant. And by the way, you mentioned Scheffler putting for birdie here. His longest putt of the day, he just made it. So now he's the solo leader. So
from like 40 feet, was he 40 feet away? 35, yeah.
4 birdies in 6 holes. When Scheffler had been dominating here these last 3 seasons, it had been because his approach shots gained. He was, in terms of what he had done, he was number 1 on tour and by far. I know this year, it was over the previous 3 seasons, his average approach to the pin was in the low 20s, and this year it was in the mid 30s. So he had gone up about 10 to 12 feet, which is still decent, but for him, that's why he was dominating. This is why he's been, slightly good this year in terms of what his standard is. But if he is locked in with his irons, like he has been so far here through these first 6 holes, like this could turn into a runaway. I mean, if he's dropping putts like he just did, I mean, to have the solo lead here already through just 6 holes, that's the spot where if he's locked in, his irons approaching to the green, then he can run away with the event.
One thing we're seeing early, Brian, Bryson DeChambeau is actually looking pretty good. He's caught a fair share of criticism. Maybe he gets even more when he goes over there to the Open Championship just because of whatever, personality, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel like he is under the microscope to start producing in majors again? He was in it not too long ago, but I mean, he's got to do something because it feels like he's fading out of the golf picture, on the tour at least. Yeah,
I think people are mocking him, calling it the Bryson Slam, that he might miss all 4 cuts this year at the major. He's missed the cut at the Masters, at the PGA, and at the U.S. Open. So yeah, it could happen. I mean, he's off to a good start here so far, being at 2 under par. So yeah, I mean, maybe this event has been the one major that he really has never contended in, and a lot of it again too is that you have to be creative and you have to hit different kind of shots. And Bryson wants to play the kind of shots that he wants to hit. A lot of times he's very stubborn. We see that even at Augusta National sometimes, where placement is more important than necessarily power, and he doesn't necessarily always buy into that manner, and he just wants to hit his shot in his manner, and sometimes it costs him. So I'd be curious to see maybe if he's been humbled a little. I know a lot of talk is he caring more about being a YouTube star than he is being a world-dominating golfer. We know he's so talented. If he bounced back and was in contention this week, it wouldn't be surprising at all because he is, we know, one of the most talented players in the world. But this year he definitely struggled. I'm sure he's maybe feeling a little bit like, hey, I've got to do something this year. Otherwise, on paper, it would be a disaster because we know he doesn't play on the PGA Tour. So when do we see him in meaningful events? 4 times in the 4 majors. And if he misses all 4 cuts, I mean, that would be labeled as a huge disappointing year for him.
Yeah, he's had 9 Open Championship appearances, and he has missed the cut more than he's made the top 10. Three missed cuts 2 times in the top 10. So, like, by results, it's definitely his worst major. Who, Brian, is the most likely first-time winner this weekend? First-time major winner, I would say, more than the Open Championship.
I'll throw 2 names, and they're big names, but they're probably names you could have been saying. I'll go Tommy Fleetwood to start. This is essentially a home open for him. This is a course that he grew up at. He actually said when he was a young kid, he actually snuck on to play the golf course. So he is as familiar with this golf course as anybody that is playing in this event today. Mike Shope and I, yesterday, we were having a discussion of who's the current best player that doesn't have a major, and we were kind of debating between Fleetwood and Hovland. Those were probably maybe the top 2. And Hovland is off to a good start here today, too. He's 2 under. That could be another name maybe that you could throw into that mix. Robert McIntyre, we know, has also, being the Scot, has played courses like this. He's won a Scottish Open playing similar link-style golf. He's a name. Terrell Hatton, we know he's a live player, but we know he also has been pretty good in majors. Can he get through 4 rounds without maybe having a hiccup? Or maybe one of his temper tantrums ends up getting him in trouble. That's maybe another name to throw out there.
Is Ludwig Oborg, or Oberg, not having a great season, because I've been kind of waiting for him to join the top guys at majors, and he's been in contention a ton, but he's on this list too.
How many
right?
has he won since the Genesis last year?
I feel like I haven't noticed him at all this year.
Yeah, and that's probably a name that when you just asked me, like, who should get their first major, I probably should have thought of him earlier, but he's been kind of hot and cold throughout the season, but maybe more so cold here during these majors time. I mean, this guy's just got a ton of talent, super young. So maybe I wouldn't put him in the category yet of like disappointment or pressure, but talent-wise, he's shown that he's capable of pulling off an event like that. So, I mean, that could be another player that if he won, there would be no surprise at all. Like, he's super, super talented. But, yeah, maybe for this season he would label it disappointing here so far because he hasn't really been able to put it together over 4 days.
Brian Koziel joining us on the Western Hotline. So, Open Championship this week. Brian, where are you guys for tee to green? What's the plan?
We're at Niagara Falls Country Club, 2 hours because of the Open, but we're also there for the Porter Cup, great annual amateur event that comes to Western New York. It's the premier amateur event that comes to Western New York every year. I know when we talk about it every year, Tiger Woods played in this event, made a hole-in-one up there. Phil Mickelson has won this event. More recently, players like Justin Thomas, Brooks Koepka. We mentioned DeChambeau. DeChambeau has played in this event. Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, others like that. So Brian Harmon has the course record. We know he's an Open Championship winner. So a lot of big names, a lot of younger college players, a lot of like freshmen and sophomores that are trying to become elite college golfers are there this week. They've got a ton of golfers from Notre Dame. They've got the New York State amateur runner-up from Duke from last year is there. So a lot of good college players. So if you're looking for something to do, it's free to attend. It's yesterday was the first round. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, round 2, 3, 4. So you can go up to Niagara Falls and watch some really good college players and amateur players. But that's where we'll be 7 and 9. Obviously, a ton on the Open Championship as well this week.
Also, Brian, is it a coincidence? The Winnipeg Jets posted on Instagram 11 different pictures of players to celebrate the announcement of the opening game of the season, and in 11 different pictures, there was not one sighting of Connor Hellebuck.
Ooh, that's juicy to read into.
11 pictures?
Yeah, it's not 3 or 4.
Yeah.
All right.
That, in other words, it's intentional then. There's no way that's random. If it's I mean, he's the face of that team. I even argue once you get past the second picture, it's intentional. So, yes, that's intriguing.
Do you think that move is dead, alive? Are you one that really wants it to happen? Where do you land on the Hellebuck idea, which we've been, talking about as an idea for 6 weeks because it's still just kind of hanging there?
I feel like I want it to happen more so for the symbolism that Jarmo Kekalainen is saying, like, we're all in to go win the cup. Does it have to happen? I don't think it necessarily has to. I think if the Sabres go in with the intention of going with the 2-goalie rotation, and if one guy gets hot, ride with him, I think that still has a very high chance of being successful just because of the quantity. You've got 2, and I guess if you want to throw Ellis in there too. But I feel like just the law of odds would say how the 2 of them, with how they played last year, the chances of them both being cold and off to the point where it sends the season down into the standings, I don't see it happening. But I think Hellebuck coming in here would send a message that we're all in to win the Stanley Cup. And with the disappointment of losing Alex Tuch and Bo Byram, I know maybe the volume of Tuch can be replaced with we're going to see Offland and Helenius and Kulich maybe be available for a full 82-game schedule. So maybe, even though there wasn't a big name forward brought in, maybe just those 3 collectively is going to be able to go ahead and replace whatever you feel like you're losing with Alex Tuch, and maybe more in terms of offensive production. So I feel like I can maybe put a little closure on that disappointment of losing Tuch. On the other end, though, are you any better anywhere else? No. So I think the symbol of bringing in a goaltender of his stature, I still think maybe could send the message to this team, okay, we've done another big move here to try to go win the Stanley Cup this year, and we're as good as anybody in the Eastern Conference.
Brian Koziel on the Western Hotline. Brian, thank you. Enjoy the Open Championship and the World Cup final on Sunday if you're going to watch Argentina and Spain.
Yeah, what a collapse for England yesterday. I know you guys have been talking about it. That was I voted, Jeremy, that it was painful. It was painful.
Yeah. I don't like seeing faces of the crying people. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. Thanks, Brian.
Yep. Okay, guys. See ya.
I had a buddy just send me a Photoshop of England's coach explaining how to lose a semifinal game by playing prevent defense to end it, and it's a Photoshop of McDermott.
I saw that yesterday. Yep.
Does Sean McDermott really deserve the poster child for prevent defense? Is that really?
I mean, it is a really pretty noteworthy moment of his tenure.
13 seconds,
is
sure.
The moment of his career.
Okay. He's the one. Isn't this everybody thinks the refs are against them? Doesn't every fan base say prevent defense only prevents you from winning? Does McDermott own it more than anybody ever?
He might.
It's a pretty bad moment.
I don't know if we're flying too close. I'm trying to decide if we're flying too close to the sun because he was the Bills coach and we all lived that moment. Is there another famous NFL game or moment where the story of it was, can you believe they were in prevent defense?
Isn't that most comebacks?
Yeah, but not to that.
Is 28-3 also prevent defense? We just don't think it because we are not focusing on Atlanta.
But they don't get. That's not the thing that gets mentioned from that game. The thing that gets mentioned from that game is Kyle Shanahan and what they did on offense.
Right. Somehow a 28-3 lead was the offensive coordinator's fault.
Right. Shanahan gets blamed for that because what even was it? That they never ran the ball?
I guess so.
They never bled the clock?
Yep.
Which actually is the opposite. That's the thing. That's the thing that I feel like I normally would want my team to do because you're not letting your team back into the game.
It's keep doing what you're doing.
Right. No, I think it's possible McDermott, who had a more egregious instance of prevent defense in a big moment. I don't know that there is another.
And I'm saying I bet there are 50 that every fan base has the one that they think about.
But is worse than what we experienced?
Well,
what the Bills experienced was like
possibly no
all-time terrible.
Well,
sure, I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
For what it's worth, that prevent defense, it wasn't even that. They got scored on like every drive in that game. The drive before 13 seconds, they're in prevent, and the pass goes underneath.
Right,
and
that play is what scared them so much. Probably in the next plays.
Yeah.
Anyway. I mean, really, more than anything, it was the first one, right? It was the Tyreek Hill screen where nobody was within 20 yards of him.
Right. 803-0550. We don't need to talk about that. It's totally fine.
July 16th, and it's 5 years later.
Pat Hammer on the smoke at 7:30. Does it look like Blade Runner out there still? Orange skies. Looks like
the old Western filter.
Looks like a Steven Soderbergh movie set in Mexico.
Yeah. It's Breaking Bad outside right now.
Yeah, right. 803-0550, our phone number. Scotty Scheffler currently ahead, -4. He is 4 under through 6.
Yeah.
Good start. Good start. This tournament, by the way, is going to drive home more than any the gallery rule when you play. These guys are going to hit it in a spot where they would never find it. They would never find their ball.
Yeah, never.
And people are just going to walk over like, here it is.
Yeah.
This is a great example. The gallery rule. If there were a gallery, they would show you where your ball is. Don't take penalties if you're in play and you can't find it. We're amateurs. We're doing the best we can. Jeremy and Joe on WGR. When you see a team lose like that, collapse, devastation, something that they're going to think about for, like 50 years, do you feel sadness for them? Or do you laugh about it happening? That's the question I want to know. They show England players. They show people in the stands dressed like knights all slumped over, When they show the sad faces, do you feel sad? Or do you feel like a schadenfreude? Right? That's it, the happiness at others' misfortune. Do you feel any sort of, at least it's not us, it's somebody else, right? Is there enjoyment in others' pain?
I end up feeling like I want to laugh. So I guess enjoyment when
you enjoy it.
A team that has that history is going through that. Maybe it's because it's England, but I don't know why I would be rooting against England. I'm not participating in the let's go they choked in 1776 and they're choking in 2026.
Right.
Like those are funny. Like those jokes are funny. It's not the reason I'm rooting against them for any reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the manager, maybe it's certain individual players on the team because I'm a Premier League fan. But I'm definitely not rooting for England when it happens. So yeah, when they blow the lead like that, I'm enjoying it. I think what made me enjoy it yesterday even more, though, is I hate in sports when a team gets a lead and plays the way they did. I hate
Jeremy, what
hockey,
here for?
I hate it.
AAA
like,
insurance,
we're up 2-1,
AAA is
let's
more than
pack
just-
it in for 15 minutes. Let's not play the sport anymore.
Yeah.
We've been playing great for 40 minutes. Let's do something totally different because we're winning now. The football, same thing. Oh, I'm up by 7 in the fourth quarter. I can't actually play normal anymore. I've got to run the ball every single play. When teams take that approach, I hate it. And England just did that more than anybody's done it in the World Cup in like 70 years. The way that they packed it in. They had 12% possession after winning 1-0. That was the lowest in a World Cup match when winning for more than 10 minutes in 60 years.
I did see that. Yep, that exact number from
Opta Joe had that stat.
Opta Joe. Happy Thursday. Warm today. Air quality alerts today as well. Plan accordingly as best you can. Do you remember? I heard this question on WBEN this morning. Do you remember what the magic AQI number got to 2 years ago when we had a couple days there, or maybe a week where it was nasty?
I don't remember. I mean, I remember how bad it was, but not what the number was.
Was it worse than yesterday? Yesterday looked more colorful and hazy. I thought 2 years ago we got into like the 200 and 250 in that neighborhood, but I could be wrong. Right now the AQI here where we are is 150.
Right. It's supposed to get up to maybe 190 later.
I just don't remember 2 years ago exactly what happened, numbers-wise. Anyway, we're going to talk about it with Patrick Hammer coming up at 7:30. We'll get the smoke forecast to let you know what you should be doing. Should you stay away, not be outside?
I have what the record was.
Okay.
That was in 2023.
Yeah.
Which I remember that because the week of my wedding, we didn't know if we'd be able to keep it outside.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks after my wedding, so I wasn't here. It was in my honeymoon. June 28th, 2023. Buffalo's all-time air quality index was recorded over 400.
Oh, all right. Well, that's considerably higher than it is right now.
Twice as bad as it is right now.
Right. There's what you can see, and then there's like the scientific side of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And they could be both related, of course. Watching the Open Championship, Patrick Hammer at 7:30. Joe Yerdon on the Sabres at 8. And there's another report that Patrick Kane wants to come to Buffalo. Let's try to make it fit. Anybody? Where? So we'll get you that audio because there's another report out there that Kane's choosing between Chicago and Buffalo, which means he'd be in Buffalo on October 3rd because that's a Sabres season opener. We know that. 803-0550, our number to join us on WGR. One thing we're seeing early, Brian, Bryson DeChambeau is actually looking pretty good. He's caught a fair share of criticism. Maybe he gets even more when he goes over there to the Open Championship just because of whatever, personality, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel like he is under the microscope to start producing in majors again? He was in it not too long ago, but I mean, he's got to do something because it feels like he's fading out of the golf picture, on the tour at least.
Yeah, I think people are mocking him, calling it the Bryson Slam, that he might miss all 4 cuts this year at the major. He's missed the cut at the Masters, at the PGA, and at the U.S. Open. So, yeah, it could happen. I mean, he's off to a good start here so far, being at 2 under par. So, yeah, I mean, maybe, this event has been the one major that he really has never contended in. And a lot of it, again, too, is that you have to be creative and you have to hit different kind of shots. And Bryson wants to play the kind of shots that he wants to hit. A lot of times he's very stubborn. We see that even at Augusta National sometimes, where placement is more important than necessarily power, and he doesn't necessarily always buy into that manner, and he just wants to hit his shot in his manner, and sometimes it costs him. So I'd be curious to see maybe if he's been humbled a little. I know a lot of talk is he caring more about being a YouTube star than he is being a world-dominating golfer. We know he's so talented. If he bounced back and was in contention this week, it wouldn't be surprising at all because he is, we know, one of the most talented players in the world. But this year he definitely struggled. I'm sure he's maybe feeling a little bit like, hey, I've got to do something this year. Otherwise, on paper, it would be a disaster because we know he doesn't play on the PGA Tour. So when do we see him in meaningful events? 4 times in the 4 majors. And if he misses all 4 cuts, I mean, that would be labeled as a huge disappointing year for him.
The World Cup final is set. Argentina advances after their 2-1 win over England yesterday. They'll play Spain, Lamine Yamal versus Messi. That'll be this Sunday at 3 o'clock. And if you're interested, the third place match will be Saturday at 5 between France and England. We've got the Sabres openers for next season. They'll be on the road to open on October 1st against Columbus. And then the opener is October 3rd at home against the Blackhawks. Byram and Greenway revenge game right off the rip. Paul Hamilton has more at our website, WGR550.com. Also, Chris Chelios says he's spoken to Patrick Kane, and he's deciding between Buffalo and Chicago. Around the NFL, ESPN's Rich Cimini reports Geno Smith's assault allegations case has been declared inactive by police, and ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that he doesn't think the Commanders are going to be bringing in Brandon Ayuk at this stage. In baseball, the Mets, they play the Phillies tonight at 7:10. The rest of the schedule picks back up tomorrow. And play is underway at the Open Championship. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
I am not going to lie to you guys. It is down to Buffalo and Chicago. I know that, obviously, because I spoke to him. But it's a tough decision for him. It really is. Whether to go home, make it easy on his parents and his family and his friends and finish like he did, or kind of like Taser tried to do, or he comes back and, in my opinion, he's a Blackhawk.
Chris Chelios says Patrick Kane's down to Buffalo and Chicago, and he says because I talked to him.
Right.
Seems pretty believable.
Yep.
Jeremy and Joe, good morning, everybody.
Owen's
here, Joe Kelly's here.
The part about Chelios talking to him, or the part about the Sabres being believable?
Well, I mean, believable because Chelios
says
like, who's your source? His answer is Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
I talked to him.
Yeah.
It's between Buffalo and Chicago, and I talked to him. Does that mean there's an offer for him, and if he just says yes, he's on this team? I think that's what that means. That your call, man. Here's our offer. Do you want it? Here's their offer. Pick your offer. Pick your team.
Unless it means he wants to come to Buffalo, they're kind of in, and there's no offer on the table. He's waiting for them to give them something. I guess it could be that.
I mean, I feel like
it could be the Sabres saying, "Hey, we'd like to have you. We don't have a spot, so unless you'd have to wait for us to make a trade."
Well, that might be true too. But as soon as he says yes, they would do it. I mean, for Chelios to say it's up to him and it's a tough call, I think the most likely scenario at least the way that he lays it out. I wouldn't say that unless I had an offer from two teams and I was picking between the two teams.
Right.
The Sabres will open the season in Columbus. And then come home for Chicago Saturday, October 3rd. That is banner-raising night.
Mm-hmm. So
and
Patrick Kane will be playing in that game.
He will, if he picks one of these two teams.
Yeah.
Jordan Greenway and Bo Byram tribute on the board.
Yep.
Thanks, Greeny. Thanks, Bo.
Mm-hmm.
How would Patrick Kane fit? Multiple forwards would have to leave, probably. At least, I mean, we're already talking about a team that is overloaded at forward. And they just signed Krebs to an extension. And I'm just over here thinking, is all this because of Hellebuck? Because they're going to send a second-line center and a second-line winger, you pick who those are, to Winnipeg for Hellebuck. There was a contract signed yesterday. You tell me who it was, because I saw it's a good comp for Jack Quinn, like $6 million per year.
Cole Perfetti from the Winnipeg Jets.
He signed in Winnipeg for $6 million. That's there's your Jack Quinn future contract. Do you want to commit $6 million to Jack Quinn?
All right, Perfetti had 32 points in 68 games last season, which is less than what Jack Quinn had.
Okay, so Jack Quinn's a $6 million player. And his name has been reportedly out there quite a bit this offseason. We've heard of his name mentioned by a number of insiders. If you're identifying that you're not going to pay that guy, I don't know if Winnipeg will either, but I feel like I'm just, of all the players that you would think Kane would directly replace, who's the number one name?
Jack Quinn.
Yeah. Right?
Definitely Jack
An
Quinn.
offensively tilted player that can help you on the power play. And
which Quinn doesn't do. You would want him to do that for the role. You would probably think, hey, the type of guy that Jack Quinn is, which is an offensive dynamo that can produce offensively, but you aren't really sure what he's giving you in every other department. That type of guy on your team, you want to produce for you on the power play. And he doesn't. So Kane would ideally give you what Quinn does 5-on-5 and then give you more than that on the power play, and then you would be talking about an immediate upgrade. If you don't plan on giving Jack Quinn a long-term deal for, right, if it's $6 million per year, then what do I care that he's younger? Because all that matters now is, what are you doing for me this year? Because if this is a short-term relationship, he might as well be 35 years old, Jack Quinn. So I think Kane would fit if you're replacing that guy, or if they want to move McLeod off the team because Oslin's going to play third-line center. Like, whatever. You got to move a forward out for Kane to come in. There's no other way about it. You're not going to healthy scratch another guy on top of already having a hard time figuring out who you are going to healthy scratch. But I could see why they would want him. They need power play help. And it's hard to get power play help if you don't bring in any new forwards, which is what this offseason has been, right? Like, there's not a single forward on this team at the beginning of next season that was not on the team last year other than Yuri Kulik. That's it. So if you want to improve in that area, then you would look at Kane for that. But my question would be, okay, well, if you really want Kane, and that might be the reason why you want him, and the Hellebuck trade doesn't happen, what am I doing? Am I trading a Quinn or a McLeod for a pick and a prospect just to clear the space? Because then it becomes not just would you rather have Kane or Quinn, would you rather have Kane and whatever I'm getting for Jack Quinn? Mm-hmm. Would I rather have Kane and a first-round pick, or would I rather have Jack Quinn? That's really what you have to weigh.
You also wonder what kind of term Kane has. Like, when he signed in Detroit, his last contract was a 3-year deal, right?
I thought it was smaller than that because I thought he re-signed, but his first deal I thought was
3, and then another one after that. All right.
Yeah, he is coming off a 1-year, $3 million deal, after a 1-year, $4 million deal, after a 1-year, $2.75 million deal.
Okay, so it's been 3 years
of 1-year deals.
Okay.
And last year it was $3 million.
What would it be this year? Similar? 2.5?
I'd hope so.
You'd think it'd be something pretty manageable.
3, maybe it's just 3 again.
Maybe.
Cap's gone up.
But that sounds like it's up to him. So I almost wonder, again, like if he says, yes, let's do that, and then the Sabres have to start pulling levers. Like, all right, well, make the call to move out who? I want to bring up something that Paul mentioned to us last time we talked to him earlier this week, which was something that he does not think they will do, but I want to – maybe we'll talk about this with Joe Yerdon at 8 o'clock. Should I at all prepare myself for the Sabres not having the right deal done yet? So at the start of the season, like Helenius is in Rochester and Ostland's in Rochester because they can. Guys.
This organization cannot operate that way.
It's about asset.
It's simply,
if it's about asset management and we don't have the right deal yet, but we're going to get there and we've got all this depth and it's just a numbers game. Like, I don't want it to happen either, but Paul pointed out, like, those guys can go to Rochester.
Can't you not possibly do that? Because your whole thing this offseason was, well, we didn't get a big move. We didn't re-sign Tuck. We didn't do all this stuff because we have so much faith in these kids being able to do it. And if the kids aren't there to do it, then you just purely got worse.
I'm with you, but what we're talking about are our justifications. And in the moment, it might not be their plan A, but what would they say about it if they got to that spot? I don't think it's likely.
I cannot see that.
If Kane says yes, I want to be a part of this year, whether it's trying to win a Stanley Cup, something that will not happen in Chicago. Chicago, you're just going there.
No, yeah.
Right.
the Sabres open against Chicago, by the way, and Connor Bedard is not going to be ready at the start of the season.
No.
He's not playing in that game.
Right. Great news.
Right.
I was immediately
Thank you.
thinking about the timeline for Bedard. Like, Chicago's not winning the Stanley Cup. We know that.
No.
They're coming off, one of the bottom seasons in the league. So he's going there just to play, go back to Chicago, retire, be a Blackhawk. Okay. Or you can, try to do something special here, I suppose. I don't know the numbers defensively. From a forward standpoint. No, from a defensive standpoint, we pretty much we know what they are.
Yeah. I have to think that even just the fact that they are still, to whatever degree they're in this, to the point where Kane is telling people I'm deciding between Chicago and Buffalo, to me that has to mean that Buffalo is telling him we're doing something here. There's going to be a spot.
Yeah.
Because you don't do I wouldn't put Kulik or any of those guys in Rochester for a game, even if it meant getting Kane on the roster now and not having to do anything else. I'm not sacrificing that. It's not the way that they've gone about operating here. It would go against everything Jarmo has said about not rushing things and setting the organization up for success. How do you do that right now? Well, you make sure that those kids have a place to play, because that is what you've been touting as your sort of, this is our ticket. These kids are special, and that's what's going to help us replace all these things we lost.
It's interesting, though, as we sit here, what you're touting, let's look at the things that they tout. They also tout their defenseman as their superpower.
Sure.
And they lost a defenseman, and they have not really I guess Olin Zellweger is going to be their replacement.
We're crossing our fingers.
I think that's a savvy move.
Okay, good.
That you could believe is genuinely going to be Byram.
Their other superpowers have been the three goalie system and the goalie rotation, something that they basically dumped when they got to the postseason. So I always want to be careful to take teams for what they are doing versus what they wish they could be doing. Right? What does Jarmo really want? He wanted Colton Parayko. He doesn't have Colton Parayko. All right, so he's on to something else. What did he want from a forward standpoint? Does he want Dylan Larkin? But Dylan Larkin won't say yes, right? Even now there's a change in Detroit, and I don't know if things get different there, but what the Sabres want to do versus what they say they can do are two different things. They would have gone to this offseason not expecting to pick 4th overall and make a trade and pick 4th overall. What did they want to do? Sign Byram. What do they want to do? Keep Tuck. So we could talk all we want about the things that they tout and that they want, the things they're saying they like, but we know a number of things that have happened are not things they wanted.
Right. That is true, and that's a very fair point. But
which is normal. That's
right,
normal.
That's the business. That's how this all goes. But to me, that the touting of the young kids is not a facade. It wouldn't logically make sense with how they're operating, even when you're comparing the two, what they're saying versus what they're doing, all of that. To me, everything that they say and what they're doing lines up to they think these kids are going to do something for them next year, and you do not block that off for a mid-30s guy that's going to play for you for 1 year. It's just not how a manager would operate. At least I wouldn't think. And maybe that's how, Jarmo's done some crazy stuff. He kept Bob and Panarin and let him go.
He has done some stuff.
Maybe that's something he's thinking, I'm going to throw a curveball. But I would be stunned if we see any of those guys touch Rochester, at least to start. Maybe if one of them, comes up and really has a hard time, you could see him go back. But I would be shocked and pretty disappointed.
Dismayed?
Yeah, because that means at that point, okay, so you didn't go get a bigger guy, a veteran guy to replace Tuck, and your thing that you have been planning on replacing Tuck can't even play in the league.
Right.
I'm in a bad place. Sorry, but you don't get to try to I don't really care about Dex and Rudolph anymore if that's where we're at. That we're in trouble. And so that to me would just be a massive issue if that's where they got to.
Right, you have to do. I mean, it could be you're waiving Tyson Kozak and Justin Danforth, knowing, we just know we're going to lose these guys. But whatever, because we need to make sure the kids are here and also playing, right? That's another part of it. Is there is what you do with the roster management of it. There also is what you do with the lineup. And if they don't send anybody out, and Kane were to sign today, who is not playing on opening night? If they don't run into injuries. And even if they run into an injury now, you still have a hard decision to make if you have an injury. Who is that player going to be? Jason Zucker? Or is that going to be Krebs? Is it going to be one of these guys that I couldn't sign Tuck to more millions of dollars to because I had to keep him?
Right.
Like, that is where their depth is, it's nice to have, and it's a surplus, but there's overkill. It is like looking at an NFL draft board and saying, well, 50 7th-round picks are the same as a first-round pick. Well, guess what you can't do? You can't have 50 7th-round picks added to your roster.
Right.
It's nice to have 9 guys that can all play really good roles in your bottom 6. You don't need 9 of them. You can't have them all play at the same time. So I think a trade has to come with it. And I just wonder that if there's no Hellebuck trade, would they get to a place where they would make a seller's trade just to clear a spot for a kid?
Flip Quinn for a first and then Kane and go. Like,
right.
I
For
don't
Kane,
know.
really.
Is that what you're like? You want to trade Quinn for Kane 1-for-1? Like that's what we're talking about? I don't know.
What about does that have to be him? Can it be Zucker?
Sure. That maybe I'd be slightly more interested in because Zucker is Zucker, whereas Quinn could feasibly still have a little room for improvement.
I'm replacing a mid-30s 1-year contract guy with another
late 30s
1-year contract guy, except this one is going to fill a role on the power play that I need more so.
Yeah.
Zucker's the net front guy. I can replace that.
Yeah.
Like that he
You
honestly
got 5 net front guys.
I think he's a great guy to have in the room. He's been a part of their leadership group the last 2 years. He has answered the bell on everything the last 2 years for this team. He is one of the guys I don't see a role for this year or a need for. He could play. He could be in the lineup. He could score 20 goals. But they can't replace Zucker.
Wouldn't you rather have Ostlund doing what he's doing in most cases?
I would.
Playing the role. Second line, left winger, right winger, like whatever, like playing those minutes in those opportunities.
Maybe, but now you're
He's also a vibes guy, which would be
I was
tough
gonna say,
to
like,
get.
now, maybe this team has aged to a point where they don't need this as much. But now, who has left the team? If I do that, Tuck, Zucker, Byram.
That's a lot.
But
That's a lot of veterans.
But I'm only doing that to replace him with Kane, basically.
right.
But that's a new guy in the room that may not have the same sort of command. I think Zucker and Byram, all 3 of them, Zucker, Byram, and Tuck, maybe were 3 of the 5 to 7 biggest voices in that room.
Right.
And that would be big. I think before you do that, like I would be more comfortable doing that after one more year of these young guys being up and playing and getting comfortable in the league.
This is where they finally ended the drought, and for a long time they had to compete against or fight back getting booed at home because fans are mad about 14 years of playoff droughts. Blah blah blah. I mean, if they're down 2-0 at the end of the second period in the opener, they might get booed. There are expectations now.
Right.
Now there are legit now you're getting booed for a different reason. Not to say like we're already going to boo them, but there's honeymoon and then there's, all right, this team is supposed to be good and supposed to win now, and you got more ticket buying customers in there. I wonder how much they feel like they'll need. Hey, now we've graduated to where the boos aren't, we're mad about 15-year boos. Now the boos are, come on, let's go.
You're supposed to be better than
Get it
this.
together.
Right.
So this team is not going to just have like an easy life of no expectation. Also, they spoiled us that last season when they finished, like 36-9?
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. Like,
Yeah.
We got pretty used to seeing them win.
if
like,
there are
every night.
injuries, if there's adversity, how important is it to have somebody in the room that's, the veteran type guy? I mean, when they got Zucker and Greenway, I know they thought that was important, and those guys played important roles. So, 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550 to join us. Mike in Connecticut up on the Bills. Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. Doing good.
So I haven't called in a while, and I just we're inching closer to football. Every morning, I'm seeing Jeremy Fowler's list, and I think I don't want to say the word is pathetic because I'm not mad at the executives and the scouts and the coaches because that's their opinions, but I find it hard to believe that, like, people say, the Bills are only going to have Josh Allen and James Cook that are represented on these lists of rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe Cole Bishop has an outside shot, but it's hard to believe that the Bills have the best roster, a top 5 roster in football, yet they only have 2 players that are probably going to be in the top 100 and 2, maybe 3 players that are listed. And, hopefully we have guys that can take the next step. I'm kind of curious who you think could be one player on each side of the ball that can take that next step. But, I can't help but think, and this is, I'm joking when I say this, but it's almost like I'm watching the Flex Tape commercial when it's like they just slap Josh Allen on the Bills and everything's all fixed.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. So Jeremy Fowler's top 10 players, each position. The Bills have not appeared yet on an NFL top 100, and we expect Cook and Allen to be there.
Yep.
But at corner, a guy that we think is really, really good, Christian Benford, did not make the executives top 24. And at wide receiver, DJ Moore, one of their big additions, did not make the top 24. And Bradley Chubb was not mentioned. I didn't see any honorable mention, best defensive, best edge, nobody.
Nope.
Like, they're not getting a lot of love. Dawkins was on this list, right?
Yep.
The top offensive lineman for Jeremy Fowler.
Ed Oliver was the very last defensive tackle under others receiving votes, which would have been like 24th out of 24 guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
maybe that was it. There wasn't many beyond that. Dawkins was mentioned, though, in the tackles list.
Yes. Let me find he was honorable mention. Okay, I'm looking for
I'm
exactly
pretty sure
where
he was.
was.
Because there was a quote in there about an NFC executive talking about his ability, but also that he lacks consistent effort, and you don't get the quotes if you're an others receiving vote guy.
Dawkins was honorable mention. Spencer Brown was also receiving votes.
Okay.
So you've got spots on your line where guys are getting a little bit of love. But I think it's not all that surprising. The league, this we saw this when they fired McDermott and they kept the GM, and the owner said, good coaching, great roster. The reaction from the league was, great roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a good roster.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of great players, but great roster. There weren't too many people that thought that to be the case. Now,
and the coach wasn't one of them.
No, the coach
Sean
did not think it
McDermott
was a great
did
roster.
not think it was a great roster.
Right. So I don't find it surprising. Today, PFF has their top 24, top 32 wide receivers ahead of the season. Top 32.
I feel like Moore should make that list. Somewhere between like 24 and 32.
He did not.
Okay. Did Shakir?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, maybe. Yak.
No.
Maybe they wanted a Yak guy in there somewhere.
Shakir, I say this lovingly, is more likely to make it as a top 32 running back. Like, it's one of the big things about this season. Like, is Khalil Shakir going to be a receiver again?
All right.
No, the top 32 receivers, and actually there's an honorable mention for Tyreek Hill at 33. So, 33 receivers, and your big guy that you're paying big money and traded a second-round pick for is not on the list. I think he can get back in there.
And I don't know if the caller's referencing, there was before all the Jeremy Fowler, like, by position pieces, there was it was a collective. Maybe it was Fowler, and it was, like, Seth Walder, yes, Aaron Schatz, Mike Clay, all contributing on ESPN, ranking every roster in the NFL. And you might have opened up that list and gone, oh, look, the Bills are number 4. I thought, like, oh, yeah, great roster.
Yeah.
And under strength, biggest strength, there's like 7 lines about what the strength of the roster is. It's all about Josh Allen. It's the quarterback. If you're counting the quarterback in the roster, which,
Fourth.
he is a part of the roster, then, yeah, it's a great roster. And if you take the quarterback out of it and try to evaluate, okay, what am I around this guy? They are not the 4th best roster in football. They are not near the 4th best roster in football.
It's probably
and I think
middle of the
their
road.
Contemporaries are saying that.
Yeah. Did you see Stevie Johnson, who had to be kidding when he ranked the receiver groups in the NFL?
I saw his A.J. Brown Shakir takes or tweets, but I did not see
I didn't see the A.J. Brown Shakir
He was
takes.
just comparing, like, targets and catches, and, Shakir catches all of his balls in the line of scrimmage. So, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, I had not seen this list.
Okay, well, he tweeted that the number 1 receiving group in the league is Seattle, and that number 2 is the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills are not number
No.
two. No offense, but the Bills are not. They're not second. No. In no way, shape, or form.
He's also, of course, he's working with Keon, so he's trying to, like, pump up Keon, and, like, he's becoming a believer. He predicted Keon 60, 808 touchdowns, which,
that would be amazing.
that's a heavy touchdown season, but 60 catches, 800 yards. I don't think it's impossible. I think it could happen. It'd be on the very high end.
I mean, I would be impressed because I don't even know that he's in line to get 60 targets in this offense. So if he gets 60 catches, he's a 100 target receiver now all of a sudden.
Yeah, right.
And wow, that would be growth if he turns into a 100 target receiver in this offense.
Could also just be that they decide to really feed him. Like, I mean, right before he got benched,
I would be
in
more,
Miami, the comment from Joe Brady, according to the broadcast, was they have to find a way to feed him.
right.
Like that happened during the season last year.
I would be more convinced if he had a season like that he truly went out and actually earned it. That they're not force feeding him. Like, you get 60 catches and 800 yards after the first 2 years you had, and they've added DJ Moore to the offense, then unless it's like everybody around him got hurt and he was the only show in town and the only guy they could throw the ball to, and that's why he got that stat line. If Moore is out there and Kincaid is out there and there aren't really these big injuries all around the offense, and he goes out and has 60 catches, he earned that. I would guess. I don't think they are just handing him 100 targets after the way the first 2 years went. He's got to go out and he's got to earn it to some degree to do it for a whole year. Even if they go in thinking like we're going to prop him up and we're going to give him every opportunity, how long does that last?
Well, we did see last year he got targets that he did not earn.
At the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But again, how long does that last? Last year, it didn't. This year, will it go on forever? Right now, Joe Brady is taking the approach, I'm the best thing that's ever happened to Keon Coleman. But if 7 games into the year, nothing is different, what do? You can't just do it the whole season. You're going to have playoffs. You're going to have Super Bowl aspirations to worry about at some point. You're going to have a trade deadline. Like, there would be a deadline on giving Coleman opportunity after opportunity, and there's no way that it's the entire season that they would do that.
803-0550. When we return, should you go outside today? How do you handle this? Patrick Hammer's going to give us the forecast on smoke. We got smoke again. So, yeah, that stinks, but it's happening. 803-0550 to join us on the Patrick Kane conversation, on that Bills conversation about the roster if you want it as well on WGR. One thing we're seeing early, Brian, Bryson DeChambeau is actually looking pretty good. He's caught a fair share of criticism. Maybe he gets even more when he goes over there to the Open Championship just because of whatever, personality, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel like he is under the microscope to start producing in majors again? He was in it not too long ago, but I mean, he's got to do something because it feels like he's fading out of the golf picture, on the tour at least.
Yeah, I think people are mocking him, calling it the Bryson Slam, that he might miss all 4 cuts this year at the major. He's missed the cut at the Masters, at the PGA, and at the U.S. Open. So, yeah, it could happen. I mean, he's off to a good start here so far, being at 2 under par. So, yeah, I mean, maybe, this event has been the one major that he really has never contended in. And a lot of it, again, too, is that you have to be creative and you have to hit different kind of shots. And Bryson wants to play the kind of shots that he wants to hit. A lot of times he's very stubborn. We see that even at Augusta National sometimes, where placement is more
Hey, it's Sneaky Joe here for Signal.
And he doesn't necessarily always buy into that manner. And he just wants to hit his shot in his manner. And sometimes it costs him. So I'd be curious to see maybe if he's been humbled a little. I know a lot of talk is he caring more about being a YouTube star than he is being a world-dominating golfer. We know he's so talented. If he bounced back and was in contention this week, it wouldn't be surprising at all because he is, we know, one of the most talented players in the world. But this year he definitely struggled. I'm sure he's maybe feeling a little bit like, hey, I've got to do something this year. Otherwise, on paper, it would be a disaster because we know he doesn't play on the PGA Tour. So when do we see him in meaningful events? 4 times in the 4 majors. And if he misses all 4 cuts, I mean, that would be labeled as a huge disappointing year for him.
How would Patrick Kane fit? Multiple forwards would have to leave, probably. At least, I mean, we're already talking about a team that is overloaded at forward, and they just signed Krebs to an extension. And I'm just like over here thinking, is all this because of Hellebuck? Because they're going to send a second-line center and a second-line winger, you pick who those are, to Winnipeg for Hellebuck. There was a contract signed yesterday. You tell me who it was, because I saw it's a good comp for Jack Quinn, like $6 million per year.
Cole Perfetti from the Winnipeg Jets.
He signed in Winnipeg for $6 million. That's like, oh, there's your Jack Quinn future contract. Do you want to commit $6 million to Jack Quinn?
All right, Perfetti had 32 points in 68 games last season, which is less than what Jack Quinn had.
Okay, so Jack Quinn's a $6 million player. And I don't his name has been reportedly out there quite a bit this offseason. We've heard his name mentioned by a number of insiders. If you're identifying that you're not going to pay that guy, I don't know if Winnipeg will either, but I feel like I'm just, of all the players that you would think Kane would directly replace, who's the number one name?
Jack Quinn.
Yeah. Right?
Definitely Jack
An
Quinn.
offensively tilted player that can help you on the power play. And
which Quinn doesn't do. You would want him to do that for the role. You would probably think, hey, the type of guy that Jack Quinn is, which is an offensive dynamo that can produce offensively, but you aren't really sure what he's giving you in every other department. That type of guy on your team, you want to produce for you on the power play. And he doesn't. So Kane would ideally give you what Quinn does 5-on-5 and then give you more than that on the power play, and then you would be talking about an immediate upgrade. If you don't plan on giving Jack Quinn a long-term deal for, right, if it's $6 million per year, then what do I care that he's younger? Because all that matters now is, what are you doing for me this year? Because if this is a short-term relationship, he might as well be 35 years old, Jack Quinn. So I think Kane would fit if you're replacing that guy, or if they want to move McLeod off the team because Oslin's going to play third-line center. Like, whatever. You got to move a forward out for Kane to come in.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Jeremy and Joe. Joe Kelly, Owen Parker here as well. We got shots of audio coming up later today, 9 o'clock hour. Joe Yurden on the Sabres at 8. Right now we're going to talk with Patrick Hammer, WGRZ Channel 2, our buddy on smoke forecasts and things like that. Mr. Hammer, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I loved how you summarized the sky. You called it Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049. The Ryan Gosling Blade Runner is what we're going with right now. Yeah,
I'm thinking more of a Tatooine, Luke Skywalker, home planet look.
Yeah.
That's how the sun looks.
Vibe as well.
That's how the sun looks, especially. Yeah.
Right.
So how different is it for you this week, right? Like usually, maybe this summer, is it your downtime? It's easy. Like it's kind of nice out most of the time. And now we're forecasting smoke.
Yeah. I mean, when I went to weather school, I think I don't know if I missed the smoke class. We didn't do a lot of studying on, well, of course we studied all sorts of stuff, but smoke has become a topic in recent years, right? This is kind of the quiet time, the dog days of summer, they call it. You get the thunderstorm here or there, but smoke has become a thing. Obviously, not just here; it's across the entire Great Lakes in the east. But I will say this happened 3 years ago, if you all recall, a couple of times. This year, the smoke has returned. And I think it's almost as bad and maybe even worse than 3 years ago. So this is the real deal in terms of health risks and, something you got to really watch because these fires they're continuing and the smoke seems to head right over us.
So in terms of the air quality and how it all works, is there a difference between I guess the elevation, the altitude of the smoke? Is that what I'm going for? How high in the sky it is? Is what is coming this week, has that been lower than other times? How does it all break down?
Yeah, it started elevated. So that's when you get the hazy sky. You don't smell anything. It's harmless really when it's high in the atmosphere. This smoke has made it far lower into the atmosphere. In fact, there might even be times when you actually may even smell something. So yes, the air quality has worsened significantly in the last 24 hours and really this morning. That index you hear about, the AQI, that number is getting very close to 200. When you hit that level, that's when sensitive people shouldn't even go outside. We're right now in that zone where all people everyone should just kind of limit outdoor stuff. If you don't want to go on that run today, you have a great excuse not to. But we're getting close to the point where those that have respiratory issues don't even, just stay inside because that surface-based smoke, that smoke are in the lower layers of the atmosphere. That's what's been moving in, especially last night and this morning.
Is golf under this umbrella also, by the way? That's an extended period of time, but it's not like you're running. Where were you on that?
I think take the cart today, even if you've got a 90-degree rule, you should be okay. But
all right.
I don't know if I'd walk today. I'd take the cart.
It's a cart day. The 2023 smoke that we had, I remember how thick yellow smoke, the sky looked like that for weeks. You mentioned the AQI could be up to 200 today. Do you know what the record is or what even the most recent record would be for what we've seen here?
Well, there were reports even in the last 24 hours near Michigan, in northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, where you had some of these numbers that were getting into the 800s and 900s. Really high up there. And the reason the difference with that episode 3 years ago is the fires were much farther away.
Quebec.
The fires with this smoky condition are in Ontario and northern Minnesota. In fact, the main fire that's causing this, there's a couple in Ontario, but it's in northern Minnesota. It's in it's an area called the Boundary Waters Canoe Area. It's this beautiful part of northern Minnesota. And there's no access anywhere. The only way to get to any place in this part of the state is via canoe. So you get these fires in this region, and they're very hard to get to, which is making it very hard to put out. And that's why the smoke has been lingering for a while. And, of course, the fire suppression techniques in Canada are different. I don't think they're as aggressive in terms of putting wildfires out, as far as I know. So that's why we're getting more of these instances. But the location of this fire being closer means that you have a better opportunity of getting that lower level smoke. So in terms of records, we're certainly climbing towards the numbers we had 3 years ago. But in some cases, it could be worse just because those fires are closer.
Patrick Hammer joining us on the Western Hotline. So in forecasting, I saw that today was going to be maybe, something to be considering a couple days ago. Are you just monitoring high and low pressure and which direction winds might blow? Because the fires are likely to not be out tomorrow. So
Right.
How does it look for the long-term forecast?
That's a great question. So the good news is you want the airflow to think about the jet stream winds. Okay, you want the flow to stop coming from the northwest, and that's where the smoke is. So what you do is you look at, okay, how are the upper level winds going to shift in the coming days? So today the smoke lingers. That smoke shifts south of the area by, I would say, tonight. Okay. We have a weather system that's coming in for the weekend. That's a whole different story. That's going to bring some rain showers here Saturday. That is going to cause the smoke or the winds to switch again and lift the smoke north of Western New York by, I would say, Saturday, Sunday. So that would be a good thing. The problem is that the winds that we see now may return next week. So you're right. Any rain isn't going to put these fires out. These fires are going to go for a while. So if we get that northwest wind again, that smoke could easily return next week. So there is going to be a short-term relief, and that really comes tonight. The smoke kind of returns, I think, tomorrow, but then it should mix out with this weather system coming through, meaning the upper-level winds are going to switch around, and we should clear it out to some degree on Saturday. But I don't think we're going to eliminate it completely.
Yeah.
But then next week, there could be a return potentially.
I mean, the fires could just keep going, right? So could this be a thing that we're dealing with for a while here?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I can't speak for how fires are attacked in Canada. Like here, when you have wildfires, all the muscle in the world is thrown at it to put them out. A lot of fires in Canada are in inaccessible areas. It's incredibly expensive to get crews in to those locations. Roads don't go there. I mean, so sometimes these fires just burn. And that's why the smoke can last for so long. And, there's nothing you can really do about it. But these fires, and oftentimes these fires don't go out until it snows the following season.
And then they can become zombie fires. You know about zombie fires?
What is a zombie fire?
They lurk underground,
They
right?
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Zombie fire is a real thing. Yep.
It's true. It's true. They actually can. The zombie fire can lurk underground the entire winter season, and then reignite the following spring. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So wait, like the fire that is happening now, like travels underground?
Pretty much deep underground. Yeah. In like the peat and all that.
So they need oxygen for the fire?
I mean, Joe, tell that to the zombies.
The zombies don't need oxygen.
Right.
They live off the. They live off lava underground. I don't know. It's a real thing. There's just enough oxygen for the smoldering to continue. But then somehow it comes back to the surface. They reignite the following season. It does happen.
All these zombie movies, these zombies have just they haven't been breathing the whole time? Zombies
I don't know about that, but the zombie fire is,
All right.
Zombies, not real. Zombie fires, real.
They are real.
I think.
They are real.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys.
Pat Hammer.
Thanks, Pat.
Channel 2, WGRC meteorologist, and joining us on the Western Hotline. Yeah, zombie fires.
Zombie fires.
Google it.
No, I believe you.
You could have put that in World Cup of Joe. World's leader in zombie fires.
We think we have that title?
It might be Canada. I mean,
it's just there's so much space up there
a lot
that
of trees.
Nobody lives in, and it's just forest, and
Yeah. 803-0550. Joe Yurden on the Sabres coming up at 8 o'clock. We're watching the Open Championship. I've got a Let's Get Stupid, a very fast, very quick Let's Get Stupid about the Open Championship when we return.
For more comfort.
Now's the perfect time to make yourself comfortable with a new electric heating and cooling system from Belknap.
In Western New York, summer and winter bring extreme temperature conditions. Make yourself comfortable with Mitsubishi electric heat pumps, designed to keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. Call Belknap today to learn more.
I'm Gary Gorfel, president of Belknap. We work on your schedule. We don't charge more for weekends and evenings. That's why we say,
give Belknap a ring. For more comfort.
now's the perfect time to make yourself comfortable with a new electric heating and cooling system from Belknap.
In Western New York, summer and winter bring extreme temperature conditions. Make yourself comfortable with Mitsubishi electric heat pumps, designed to keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. Call Belknap today to learn more.
I'm Gary Gorfel, president of Belknap. We work on your schedule. We don't charge more for weekends and evenings. That's why we say,
give Belknap a ring.
How would Patrick Kane fit? Multiple forwards would have to leave, probably. At least, I mean, we're already talking about a team that is overloaded at forward, and they just signed Krebs to an extension. And I'm just like over here thinking, is all this because of Hellebuck? Because they're going to send a second-line center and a second-line winger, you pick who those are, to Winnipeg for Hellebuck. There was a contract signed yesterday. You tell me who it was, because I saw it's a good comp for Jack Quinn, like $6 million per year.
Cole Perfetti from the Winnipeg Jets.
He signed in Winnipeg for $6 million. That's like, oh, there's your Jack Quinn future contract. Do you want to commit $6 million to Jack Quinn?
All right, Perfetti had 32 points in 68 games last season, which is less than what Jack Quinn had.
Okay, so Jack Quinn's a $6 million player. And I don't his name has been reportedly out there quite a bit this offseason. We've heard of his name mentioned by a number of insiders. If you're identifying that you're not going to pay that guy, I don't know if Winnipeg will either, but I feel like I'm just, of all the players that you would think Kane would directly replace, who's the number one name?
Jack Quinn.
Yeah. Right?
Definitely Jack
An
Quinn.
offensively tilted player that can help you on the power play, and
which Quinn doesn't do. You would want him to do that for the role. You would probably think, hey, the type of guy that Jack Quinn is, which is an offensive dynamo that can produce offensively, but you aren't really sure what he's giving you in every other department. That type of guy on your team, you want to produce for you on the power play. And he doesn't. So Kane would ideally give you what Quinn does 5-on-5 and then give you more than that on the power play, and then you would be talking about an immediate upgrade. If you don't plan on giving Jack Quinn a long-term deal for, right, if it's $6 million per year, then what do I care that he's younger? Because all that matters now is, what are you doing for me this year? Because if this is a short-term relationship, he might as well be 35 years old, Jack Quinn. So I think Kane would fit if you're replacing that guy, or if they want to move McLeod off the team because Oslin's going to play third-line center. Like, whatever. You got to move a forward out for Kane to come in.
All right, go. Let's get stupid. A very quick, specific. Let's get stupid.
Okay.
One of these years we have the Open Championship, and we don't have spotters.
No spotters.
And we put the players on a clock to find their ball, and if they don't find that ball, drop, penalty. Why is it that when these guys jack one into the heather, they just get it? Here it is. Yet if I hit one into the heather at Delaware Park, if I don't find it, I'm taking a stroke. Open Championship, this is the 154th. Now announcing for the 155th Open Championship, no spotters, find your own ball.
Wouldn't it be just simpler to change the rule so that if you think a spotter would find it, you don't have to take a stroke?
Well, yeah, we're doing that all the time.
Right.
But for them, I want them
You want them to have to look.
to deal with what we deal with. You're supposed to take a stroke there. Sorry, can't find it. It's too bad. Next year, it's St. Andrews.
That's harder to lose it, right? Because it's so open.
Maybe. Just find me a place where there's a lot of stuff. And if they also,
imagine the drama though. Like you're on 18, you're up 1. The ball went into the heather, and the clock is on. Now it becomes an elite game of
the way that
hide and go seek.
The way that we're supposed to administer the rules to ourselves, but not to these guys.
Someone loses a major on not being able to find their ball.
Also, in doing this, no fans because we can't have them trod down for like a path. Because when they jack it into the heather, like, actually, he caught a break. He's on the path.
Right.
Trampled by people.
I mean, the people really act as a backboard sometimes.
And they find the ball for you.
Like, that ball's going to go past the green by 20 yards, and, it hit Bob sitting in his chair. So, guess what? Now you're only 5 yards off the green.
Yeah, from now on, I'm inventing a new rule. It's called the bleachers rule. If you overcook a ball towards a green and it goes 50 yards past, you get a free drop 10 yards off the green because there would have been
bleachers.
Bleachers.
Yes.
If you were on the tour. Why are all the advantages for them?
I like this. Yeah, right.
Bleachers rule. Free drop 10 yards off the green.
They get all the benefits.
It's probably why they're shooting such good scores. Scotty Scheffler, -3. He put one close again here.
Yeah, he didn't need the bleachers there on that one.
Sung J M is 4 under, and also Dan Brown, author of The Da Vinci Code, apparently is -4. Right?
Yeah.
Is that who that is?
And Scheffler's 1 over since he started 4 under through 6. So he's 3 under for the tournament. So 1 back. Still very much the favorite.
803-0550.
Look at Francesco Molinari making an appearance up there in the leaderboard. Where's he been? That's the thing about golf that's fun. Like sometimes a golfer that like you're used to seeing week to week will just like in football, a random player that you haven't thought of in 10 years will just disappear and you'll never hear from him again. Like Eddie Lacy. He's a running back for the Packers. You might have thought about him like once a week because you would see him on TV. Then he just disappears, never to be heard from again. Molinari, I haven't seen play golf since Tiger won the Masters 7 years ago. And he's just in second place right now. Just randomly pops in here and there. Usually you got to be a former winner to get that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he wouldn't have qualified, I'm sure.
803-0550. Joe Yerdon on the other side, get his thoughts on the Sabres offseason as it stands. Today is the schedule release day.
Yeah, 84 games.
84 games. That's why the season starts a week earlier, October 1st for the Sabres season opener in Columbus, and then the 3rd for the first home game. So Sabres schedule release day, that's kind of cool. We'll see some of the bigger matchups. Show me home afternoon games. 10. Is 10 too many? Let's get the afternoon games back. Last year there were like none.
10's fine.
No, 10's a lot. 6. Home afternoon. How many national games will they get now that they're good? They used to get a good amount when they weren't good.
Let's see where the Toronto game is. Tampa, Montreal.
Tampa games. Night before Thanksgiving. Is there a Tucks and Pucks event?
Right.
Home stands. Sabres after dark.
Yep.
803-0550. So Joe Yerdon on the Sabres. On that Patrick Kane idea, how it could slot in, Chris Chelios says Kane's picking between the Sabres and the Blackhawks, and he says Kane told him that. 803-0550, our number on WGR. One thing we're seeing early, Brian, Bryson DeChambeau is actually looking pretty good. He's caught a fair share of criticism. Maybe he gets even more when he goes over there to the Open Championship just because of whatever, personality, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel like he is under the microscope to start producing in majors again? He was in it not too long ago, but I mean, he's got to do something because it feels like he's fading out of the golf picture, on the tour at least.
Yeah. I think people are mocking him, calling it the Bryson Slam, that he might miss all 4 cuts this year at the major. He's missed the cut at the Masters, at the PGA, and at the U.S. Open. So, yeah, it could happen. I mean, he's off to a good start here so far, being at 2 under par. So, yeah, I mean, maybe, this event has been the one major that he really has never contended in. And a lot of it, again, too, is that you have to be creative and you have to hit different kind of shots. And Bryson wants to play the kind of shots that he wants to hit. A lot of times he's very stubborn. We see that even at Augusta National sometimes, where placement is more important than necessarily power, and he doesn't necessarily always buy into that manner, and he just wants to hit his shot in his manner, and sometimes it costs him. So I'd be curious to see maybe if he's been humbled a little. I know a lot of talk is he caring more about being a YouTube star than he is being a world-dominating golfer. We know he's so talented. If he bounced back and was in contention this week, it wouldn't be surprising at all, because he is, we know, one of the most talented players in the world. But this year he definitely struggled. I'm sure he's maybe feeling a little bit like, hey, I've got to do something this year. Otherwise, on paper, it would be a disaster, because we know he doesn't play on the PGA Tour. So when do we see him in meaningful events? 4 times in the 4 majors. And if he misses all 4 cuts, I mean, that would be labeled as a huge disappointing year for him.
The World Cup final is set. Argentina advances after their 2-1 win over England yesterday. They'll play Spain. Lamine Yamal versus Messi. That'll be Sunday at 3 o'clock. If you're interested, the third place match will be Saturday at 5 o'clock between France and England. We've got the Sabres openers for next season. They'll be on the road to open on October 1st against Columbus, and then the home opener is October 3rd against the Blackhawks. Paul Hamilton has more at our website, WGR550.com. Also, Chris Chelios saying he's spoken to Patrick Kane, and Kane is deciding between Buffalo and Chicago. Around the NFL, ESPN's Rich Cimini reports Geno Smith's assault allegation case has been declared inactive by the police. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that he doesn't think the Commanders are going to bring in Brandon Ayuk at this stage. And in baseball, the Mets, they play the Phillies tonight at 7:10. The rest of the schedule picks back up tomorrow and play underway at the Open Championship. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
McAllister libre, McAllister Pablo otra vez, y va Messi, primeros, Pence, Maca, Messi engancha y va, tiró con la derecha, ¡Gol!
Andres Cantor.
He's running out of voice.
They were under siege.
That man has lost his voice because the team that he keeps calling here is scoring every goal in like the last minute.
Yeah.
And he's got to yell at the top of his lungs every other day.
It's
for
a good
Argentina.
It's a good thing there are only 3 goals in a game. He's Argentine, and I remember
Cantor. Yeah.
when they won it last year, he's like crying, getting emotional because they'd won the World Cup.
Yeah.
And here they are back in the final again. Scenes, an absolute masterclass in how not to finish out a game from England as they had a 1-0 lead and went into complete park the bus, all your defensive subs, let the greatest player of all time throw crosses into your box relentlessly. And also the first goal for Argentina, I'm no soccer tactician, but nobody near that guy to close him out as Bellingham tries to get out there in time.
Wow, they were all at Messi, right?
Right. Yeah.
They had did they have 3 guys on Messi? Where was Dan Byrne? Joe Yernan, Mr. Newcastle.
Yeah.
Where was Dan Byrne at?
How about it, Joe? We know you got the chops to talk about this before we get to the Sabres. Were you watching?
Oh, I was absolutely watching. I've been every game Andres Cantor is called, especially the Argentina games, are must listen. Even though I can make out about 10% of the words, my rudimentary high school and year of college Spanish instruction not really coming through for me. But man, I mean, just listening to that call again, it gives you goosebumps and makes you feel warm. It's just such an insane but also great call. Yeah. I loved it. But yeah, Dan Byrne, man. He's the closer. He's been the closer for England, and they just got overwhelmed. They just threw everybody up the middle, and Dan Byrne's one man. He's 6'5" man, but he's just one man.
Yeah, one large man. Well, it's tough.
Yes.
It's tough for England for sure. I mean, we had opened the show talking about it this way, Joe. You're a Lions fan, right? I know this about you. You're a Newcastle fan. You've had your share of heartbreak, and I feel like maybe different sports fans operate from a different spot. The question we asked to open the show was, when you see something like that, if you have no major rooting interest, do you feel bad for England, or do you kind of laugh at what they're going through?
Boy, with no rooting interest, because I really don't care for English football. I think it's too much hype. It's too much everything, honestly. And it's just kind of like, oh, all right. Because it's like, well, I'll let them win one and then they'll get over it. It's like, no, they'll be even worse than they are when they're crying and moping about all this stuff. But when I've got no rooting interest, I think it makes me feel sick in the gut, because you're just like, oh, those poor guys, the poor guys, what a letdown, what an awful defeat. But a game like that where it's, a brilliant superstar like Messi, who's just so fun to watch. Never mind the rest of the Argentine team. I whatever to them. But England, I mean, there's a lot of likable guys in there, but there's so many guys where it's just like, ugh, get that guy out of here, please. Watching it, I don't know. It's a tough watch, but man, if you have no interest in that game at all, and you're just watching it as sport, you're probably heartbroken for how that happens in England.
Yeah, I find myself feeling very bad for people that have to go through terrible sports heartbreak, especially if they care a lot. You won't find me getting too upset for a team like Vegas or a team like the Florida Panthers, maybe, if they lose in heartbreaking fashion. But when Edmonton loses in Game 7, I feel for sports fans that like it, that care quite a bit. Joe Yerdon on the Western Hotline. He of NotedHockey.com and contributor at Bleacher Report. Got him on to talk a little about the Sabres here. Joe, I'll ask you the question. I asked this to Brian Koziel a little bit earlier. It's kind of a quick Hellebuyck conversation. How much smoke to the idea that Connor Hellebuyck is not featured in any one of the 11 pictures in the Winnipeg Jets Instagram to note the start of the schedule and their schedule announcement? And Joe found they haven't tweeted about Hellebuyck since his birthday in May.
Yeah, May 19th.
It's enough to make everybody into Charlie Day at the board with the conspiracies, isn't it?
Yes.
See, it's enough to come up with a bunch of all right, this is putting it together here. It seems crazy to read into that, but I don't know. You kind of have to, don't you?
It's 11 pictures. There's no way that's not an accident.
He's the biggest player on the team. You know, I mean, it's no knock on Mark Scheifele or Kyle Connor or any of those guys, but like Hellebuck's like the guy. Like he's the man, and like that's the guy you put front and center on any marketing you do. And nothing since May. Nothing about the season opener. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, that's a lot, and it kind of tells me that like they're just playing it cautious. Like, hey, maybe he's not going to be here. We don't want any awkward tweets. We don't want any cold sports takes coming at us. Like, hey, come see Connor Hellebuyck opening night. Oops, nope, he's not going to be here unless Buffalo is here or some other teams here that that might happen to be here. But yeah, that's enough for me to be like, all right, so where's he going? And at that point, the only dots we have to connect are with Buffalo. And I don't know. I've always been of the mind that it's a much harder trade to make after the draft, but I still think it's a trade that you can make. I still think there are pieces you can put together to make that trade happen if you want to. It's just, I mean, if Kevin Cheveldayoff wasn't going to give up number 8 to swap with 4 at the draft, it's like, I wonder how much tougher it is now when, maybe the goalie that he wants probably won't waive his no trade to go there. And, maybe some other players are in a different spot. So, yeah.
How much do you think the Sabres really want this move? It's been reported that the two have been talking for, of course, like weeks, and then it dies at the draft, and maybe it kicks back up. It goes back to early June. The report, Hellebuck says he wants to go to Buffalo. What level of interest do you think the Sabres have in getting it done, or how far along the way they might have gotten it done?
I think Jarmo's in a place of comfort because if he doesn't, if this trade doesn't happen, I think they're very comfortable with the setup they've got in goal with the guys they have. I think they're very comfortable with that. But if they can upgrade on that and also not give up everybody they think they're going to need to be able to make a run at the Cup, then I think that's a trade that can be made. But if Winnipeg is being really hard about and they should be really hard about the guys that they want in return, then maybe that's something that can't happen. But I mean, if it's the kind of thing where maybe behind the scenes there's an urgency from Hellebuck to say like, hey man, just, looking to do this as peacefully as possible. Let's get me out of here. Let's figure this out. If there's that kind of pressure, then maybe things get a little bit easier to make a trade happen. But this is a deal I think that got a lot tougher to do after July 1st. But there's ways around it. There's ways to get by it, and I don't know if it's necessarily any more comfortable for either side to pull the trigger on that. All the same.
What do you think of the Luukkonen piece of it? He's got the 5-team no trade clause now. Should we just assume you think that he would just say, "Oh no, not Winnipeg"? Because the only argument you can make against that would be, well, if he wants to be a starter and it's not going to happen here because the Sabres are intent on getting Hellebuck, most teams have made their moves. So how many teams out there would he kind of have the net?
I think in his position, I think if you want to be a starter, then maybe you say like, okay, Winnipeg's not the most ideal place, but if I go there, I'm going to be the number one, or at least it's going to be a 1A, 1B situation that I'll take control of because the other guy's Stuart Skinner, and no offense to Stuart Skinner, who has played in a Stanley Cup final, Luukkonen's probably a better goalie. Now, if it's something where Luukkonen is just kind of like, no, that's a place I am adamant I am not going to go to because XYZ reasons. Then I mean he's well within his rights to do that. It's just he would have to realize that he's not the number one anymore, and he's not going to play as often. And maybe you're content with that because you're still making $4.5 million for the next few years, and that's a problem. That's something for the team to figure out how they want to deal with that. But if I'm him and I want to play, then maybe I say yes. But I mean, there's at least one guy there that he knows. I mean, he knows Isaac Rosén, but I mean, it's the kind of thing where if I'm him, I'm probably a bit mad if they're trying to urge me to say yes to that or seeing my name in trade rumors and everything. I'm probably probably going to have a pretty big chip on my shoulder no matter what when camp starts.
Right.
Wherever camp starts.
Yeah. Does he have any different sort of mentality or attitude? Because the whole offseason has kind of been, are the Sabres getting a different goalie to replace you? I mean, I wonder if the Sabres couldn't make it known, though, like, this isn't really an indictment on him. It's just this is the best goalie in the world. That's the only reason we're even talking about goalie, and if he wasn't available, we wouldn't be even looking at this position.
Yeah, I think you can read between the lines on that. I mean, I think if I'm Luukkonen and if my name's getting thrown in there to be the guy moved to get, a 3-time Vezina MVP goalie, maybe future Hall of Famer, then yeah, I'm feeling pretty flattered about that. But all the same, I don't want to leave because moving stinks, and it's a new team, new situation, and maybe a city you don't want to be in. I think that's a reason to be mad about it. But I think other than that, it's it's something where you can take motivation out of that very, very clearly. I mean, you can take motivation out of, hey, team wants to move me. It doesn't matter who it's for; they want to move me, but. All right, I'll show them. I think honestly, Luukkonen has done really well in those situations where, the doubt side of the scale weighs a lot heavier, and I think he's been able to really show what he can do in those kinds of situations. But this is a different kind. This is a whole different kind of it's not doubt. It's just there's an elite goalie out there that we can get. And you're, one of the guys that could help make that happen. Maybe not now, but it's a different kind of wrinkle to this whole thing. Just because it's and I don't know that this has ever happened with other guys that were traded for elite goalies in the past, goalie for goalie, anyways. But I don't know if it's something I would necessarily be mad about that half of it. I think I'd be more mad about it in that. Hey, they asked me to waive. I'm saying no, or I mean, we don't even know if that's happened or not. But if this talk is out there, then if they bring that question to me, it's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Joe, you're at notedhockey.com and Bleacher Report. Joe, how about the Patrick Kane chatter? Chris Chelios flat out says, "I talked to him. It's between Chicago and Buffalo," and we're constantly here talking about how they have too many forwards of the same caliber? Like, is there room for Kane? And if so, if that's like maybe on the table for him to say yes or no, I feel like a follow-up move would be necessary because they're, overflowing. Is that too far to say that at the position?
No, I think that's pretty accurate. They're at 15, 16 forwards right now. To me, in my mind, the Kane thing is if the Hellebuck trade does happen, you're probably looking at a couple of forwards from on the two of those 15 guys, maybe even 3, going back the other way. And then it's like, oh, shoot, we need a guy. Well, Patrick's on the line waiting to sign that 1-year deal. Let's get it done. The other side of that, though, is maybe they've got their, you've got your depth chart on the board and you're looking at it going like, boy, we have some question marks about X guy, Y guy, and Z guy. And also, how are we going to, how is our power play going to get set up for this, with no tuck? And you're looking at this and going like, boy, how's this going to work now? And then maybe you're saying like, well, boy, Patty Kane can still help on a power play really well. He was really good at that in Detroit. And he can really help offensively. Just have some guys that can kind of cover his tail on the defensive side of the game, and we can go from there. But then you're talking about 2, maybe 3 guys going to Rochester to make that happen, and it's probably 2 or 3 guys nobody wants to see you go to Rochester at this point, or you'd like to get in the lineup more regularly right away after watching them in the playoffs. I think that's kind of what you're looking at, because you start thinking about like how this is going to set up when you get in training camp and everything. And because, the guys that would go to Roch are kind of easy to pick out right now, at least the guys that are easy to move. You don't have to worry about waivers or any of that. Obviously, you could do anything that you want to in camp and hope that it works. But to me, this seems like the kind of thing where it's like, hey, if Hellebuck gets done, get Kane on the line immediately, and let's get him in here and get it squared away.
Right, because if not, like, it's easy to do it just because no one has to go through waivers. But is it easy for Lindy? and whoever's putting the lineup together, because some of these young guys that are not out, don't have to go through waivers, are maybe top 6 guys in your lineup when the year begins. The only guy I wonder with that is Kulik, and if would they hide behind, well, this isn't just about, a numbers game. We also want to get him a couple of games on the ice before we, send him for full bore in the NHL lineup.
Yeah, but even something like that might keep him out of Buffalo for a week, 2 weeks tops.
Right.
And then you're trying to dance around things, and because right now you're thinking it would be him, Oslin, and Helenius, and it was such a crap storm last year when Oslin went down, and Lindy was just like, well, if it's up to me, he's never leaving. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. Well, what happens in training camp if you've got 17 forwards and one of them's Patrick Kane, who came here who you signed for a very specific reason, and you've got a whole lineup of all these vet guys, and you're just like, how do we make this work? And it's like, well, there's only one way to do it, and some of these guys have got to go to Roch. Now, Roch would be really happy. They would love to have any of those guys back to start next season, but to have that kind of crowded house, and Lord help us all if they get out of the gate slowly and they're not scoring goals, because boy, oh boy, the screaming about getting those guys back from Roch would be deafening. But you want to say it's a nice problem to have, but I don't know, man. It's with the questions about, how the offense is going to click with Tuck gone and all that. It's a lot of stuff where it's like, you got a lot of balls in the air you're trying to juggle, and, you better be focused.
Joe Yerdon, notedhockey.com. Joe, be ready, be on alert. Joe's off tomorrow. I don't know if big things happen when Joe's off or when I'm off. I've got time off next week, so we are entering an era, or a window at least, where maybe there's a Hellebuck trade with one of us off, so be prepared.
Wow.
Yeah, I get thinking back to when Skinner got traded to Buffalo, and that was the first week of August, and we were all wait, what?
Yeah.
Everybody's on break. What are we doing? What's happening here? And then, so we're in that point of the year where everybody's, I don't know, management guys, I don't know if they're back from the cottage and they're just starting to gear up, or what's going on. I don't even know what's happening. I just assume everybody's at the pool someplace.
Is it not true, though, that this NHL calendar still looks different because Larkin, Robertson, Hellebuck, maybe even Werenski, you still don't have resolution on a lot of guys where, any of those 4 names I just listed, I wouldn't tell you right now whether they'll be on their teams at the beginning of the season or not.
Yeah, it's a little different, but there's wrinkles to all of those things. The Hellebuck thing, obviously, with the social media pic, his picture's not anywhere. The rumors haven't gone away since the draft. Larkin thing, well, Yzerman just got scooted upstairs, got fired from being the GM, and now they're on the GM watch in the middle of July. That's a huge change, and Robertson filed for arbitration. If that goes to an actual hearing, I mean, cool. He gets a contract done, but then that walks him to free agency. Gear up for next summer, let's go. But that's like a temporary stay of free agency right there, or a move or something. But yeah, and I mean, Werenski seemed to walk back everything. I mean, Blue Jackets were having fun with that on social media. I thought that was great, but I don't know. Maybe that's what happens with Larkin now with Yzerman, moving to a different role. Maybe Larkin says okay, well, the guy I had an issue with isn't running the show anymore, so let's see how this goes. But I mean, I don't know. It feels like there's work still to be done, but some of these things, I don't know. I just wonder if it gets held off until maybe right before camp opens.
Mm-hmm. Right. Joe Yerdon. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Notedhockey.com for Joe Yerdon. Find his work there. His Substack and Bleacher Report contributor. NHL schedule today. The Sabres home opener was announced right after our show. Mm-hmm. So was the schedule 10 a.m. today?
I think I saw 1 o'clock somewhere.
Okay. They're not on Good Morning America telling us who's going to play. That
was so dumb when they did and then they didn't have the names. They just had the pictures when they announced are you talking about when they announced the Olympic team?
No, I was talking about when the NFL goes on Good Morning America
okay.
Netflix and this, becomes a 4-day event, the NHL's just like, here's the schedule.
Because hockey announced the Olympic team on Good Morning America, and they did like a passing by camera shot on the roster, and the names were like in 12 font, so you couldn't read anything, and it was only 3 seconds long, and you had to wait like another 5 minutes, which was fine.
What's the status?
We're splitting season tickets this year with
we are.
Other guys. We're drafting games.
Yeah.
Does the opener go down at all because it was Chicago?
No.
In your order?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Opener is the number one pick for me all the time. First on my board. Opener.
And it is Saturday night.
Yeah.
Could have been a Thursday. I mean, the Sabres play in Columbus's home opener on a Thursday.
It's a nice little weekend. So. Saturday, Blackhawks to open the season, and then the next day is Bills Patriots.
Right. Yeah.
So a nice little 1-2.
And you get the banner raising.
Right.
It might widen the board a little bit, though, because you're not wasting, but there's value in, I didn't get the opener. If I'm not going first, but I could still get the first time they play Tampa. I could still get the first time they play Montreal. Because the opener was going to be the opener. Have the value of the banner and the first night in there regardless. And they might be playing a team that they could just beat by 5. Ideally, it's hockey. You can never assume that. But no Bedard.
No Bedard.
Did they want Chicago because they wanted Byram there? They don't care about that.
I don't think we need to place the NHL.
The NHL doesn't think that deeply.
It's kind of like the Premier League. The Premier League has the schedule come out, and you're like, "What's what?" Nobody cares. They just here's the schedule. What are you worried about?
Right.
In the NFL, we make it a big deal.
I thought though maybe they put some thought into it because there were other openers that felt like Carolina is playing Florida. I've got the defending Stanley Cup champion against the previous 2 Stanley Cup champions, and I had Montreal's playing somebody too. Tampa, maybe?
I thought
there was some thought into a couple of them.
Yeah, I thought the Buffalo-Chicago one might, if it's anything, it might be Kane. Because he's playing for one of those 2 teams, and it'll either be he's playing against Chicago, his old team, in Buffalo, or he's playing against his hometown team with Chicago, back with Chicago.
Sure. I mean, I just feel like we will end up finding what the answer could be for any team. This is like when people say, the Bills are opening against the Lions because of Ralph.
Right.
Maybe.
Or it's just a game.
Or it's just, they just picked this one. This is going to be the game.
Washington-Pittsburgh is an opener.
Okay.
You don't think they get that? They get to put input on who they want to open against?
Maybe. 803-0550. Buff, hang with us. We'll get your call on the other side on the Bills and keep talking with you. 803-0550, 1-888-552-550. Jeremy and Joe on WGR. One thing we're seeing early, Brian, Bryson DeChambeau is actually looking pretty good. He's caught a fair share of criticism. Maybe he gets even more when he goes over there to Jeremy,
what
here for FanDuel Sportsbook
just because of
one more personality, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel like he is under the microscope to start producing in majors again? He was in it not too long ago, but I mean, he's got to do something because it feels like he's fading out of the golf picture, on the tour at least.
Yeah. I think people are mocking him, calling it the Bryson Slam, that he might miss all 4 cuts this year at the major. He's missed the cut at the Masters, at the PGA, and at the U.S. Open. So, it could happen. I mean, he's off to a good start here so far, being at 2 under par. So, I mean, maybe, this event has been the one major that he really has never contended in. And a lot of it, again, too, is that you have to be creative and you have to hit different kind of shots. And Bryson wants to play the kind of shots that he wants to hit. A lot of times he's very stubborn. We see that even at Augusta National sometimes, where placement is more important than necessarily power. And he doesn't necessarily always buy into that manner. And he just wants to hit his shot in his manner. And sometimes it costs him. So I'd be curious to see maybe if he's been humbled a little. I know a lot of talk is he caring more about being a YouTube star than he is being a world-dominating golfer. We know he's so talented. If he bounced back and was in contention this week, it wouldn't be surprising at all because he is, we know, one of the most talented players in the world. But this year he definitely struggled. I'm sure he's maybe feeling a little bit like, hey, I've got to do something this year. Otherwise, on paper, it would be a disaster because we know he doesn't play on the PGA Tour. So when do we see him in meaningful events? 4 times in the 4 majors. And if he misses all 4 cuts, I mean, that would be labeled as a huge disappointing year for him.
The World Cup final is set. Argentina advances after their 2-1 win over England yesterday. They'll play Spain. Lamine Yamal versus Messi. That'll be this Sunday at 3 o'clock. If you're interested, the third place match will be Saturday at 5 between France and England. We've got the Sabres openers for next season. They'll be on the road to open on October 1st against Columbus, and the home opener is October 3rd against the Blackhawks. Paul Hamilton has more at our website, WGR550.com. The remainder of the schedule will be released at 1 p.m. Eastern Time today. Also, Chris Chelios says he's spoken to Patrick Kane, and Kane is deciding between Buffalo and Chicago. Looking around the NFL, ESPN's Rich Cimini reports Geno Smith's assault allegation case has been declared inactive by police, and ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that he doesn't think the Commanders are going to bring in Brandon Ayuk at this stage. In baseball, the Mets, they play the Phillies tonight at 7:10, and the rest of the schedule picks back up tomorrow. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
we don't love losing franchises except the old Cubs, who this year are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of their World Series. The Cubs are different. Harry Carey, Chicago Dog, it's different. Buffalo has been competently run and they can't win. But there's no such thing as curses. There's not. The Joe Brady this year is going to be fascinating because he wasn't the best coach on the market.
Colin Cowherd just talking Bills. I saw that clip. The conclusion was...
Yeah, what was his conclusion?
Not really much of one. Just kind of talking about the Bills. Like, yeah, sounds right. Not hot takey if you're looking for that.
Joe Brady wasn't the hottest coach on the market. Is that how he put it?
Wasn't the best candidate.
The best candidate?
Yeah.
Who does he think was? Kubiak?
Yes.
Kubiak?
Maybe.
Should they have waited? Whatever. They were going to...
Who knows?
Who cares? Yeah. There's nothing in there I really feel like I want to... that was just really talking because there's nothing even in there that I would want to pick out and attack.
Yeah. Or say, whatever. Quick thing. Jeremy Fowler's top 10 lists all positions. He just did safeties, which I think means he's done, right?
I don't know. We're going to get long snappers?
You know what?
Kickers?
There might be special teamers. There might be. But running backs, corners, edge, tackles, tight ends, offensive tackles, interior linemen, quarterbacks, off-ball linebackers, wide receivers, and safeties. Yeah, this is the last one. Because previously they're all listed and safeties wasn't clickable, and now safeties is out, and Cole Bishop has not been mentioned.
That one is really surprising to me.
I guess none of it should be surprising anymore. The league, it's pretty consistent. I mean, if Christian Benford can't get a reference, then I don't know how Cole Bishop's going to get a reference. But to wrap up the tail of the tape, and we'll get some calls in here on the Bills if you want to throw them our way. We're 2 weeks from training camp. Jeremy Fowler's top 10 series concludes. Here's how the Bills stack up. Allen, number 1. Cook, 7th. At honorable mention, which is outside the top 10, Kincaid and Dawkins. Others receiving votes, McGovern, Spencer Brown, Ed Oliver, end of list. So 7 Bills players were mentioned. Most of the positions had 24 to 28 names listed. 7 Bills got it. 2 in the top 10, 2 honorable mention, 3 in the others receiving votes, according to execs, coaches, and scouts.
Yeah, not stunning. Not stunning.
Benford's the biggest surprise to me. Wouldn't have surprised me if Bishop got a vote or 2.
Bishop is the one I want to see on one of these lists next year.
Yeah.
Like, if he does what he did last year or even goes beyond that, and I don't know if we've heard a lot about, like, this system being any better or worse for him. I don't really think you could, maybe even better, because they're going to be more aggressive and he's athletic and you want to put him around the box. C.J. Gardner-Johnson being next to him instead of whoever. It was old Poyer last year for a lot of it. It was Taylor Rapp who couldn't run at the beginning of the season. Maybe that helps him. I want to see somebody take a big leap. I don't even care about the others receiving votes or honorable mention or like guys that are the 20th best player at their position in the NFL. That's fine. I like to have a bunch of those guys. But where are the elite players? And I think Bishop's got that capability. He's got to stay healthy. He has an incredible athletic profile, and I'm excited about him.
Yeah.
Like Benford, I wouldn't say I'm excited about Benford going forward in a new city. Like, I think he's good. He's really good. I don't ever consider him likely to be one of the best couple of cornerbacks in football. I think I'd be surprised if that ever happened. Bishop excites me because I feel like there is a ceiling in there that is he's one of the best safeties in the league. And someone on this team, at some point, it would be nice if they became, other than Josh Allen and James Cook, one of the best players at their position in the league. And Bishop should have that capability.
803-0550. Buff in Dallas. Buff, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Loving the commentary. For me, I like the defense this year. I think we should finish in the top 10 relatively compared to years back and, being more aggressive, being, more blitzing, forcing the offenses and just one way, So I'm bullish on the defense. But the offense, I feel like it's the same offense. It's gonna get us to the playoffs, and then we're gonna have to depend on the receivers that make a play down the stretch. So that's my biggest concern. So I don't know. What do you think, as far as a veteran coming in, maybe at the trade deadline, or maybe we may not need one, depending on how Skylar Bell works out? I think he's going to be the solid 2 receiver. If they don't decide to put, like you alluded to about the guy, he's going to be a running back. What's his name?
Shakir?
You said he. Yeah.
I was kind of just joking that that executives might want to scout him like a running back unless they start throwing him the ball.
Yeah, I mean the thing that I would wonder is, because I don't think this is happening right now or in training camp, unless it's maybe it's Brandon Cooks, like adding another guy at that position that's a veteran. But you brought up the trade deadline, and the Bills in back-to-back seasons have added a veteran receiver either at the trade deadline or after the trade deadline, and then the guy has come in and played a lot. Cooper Cooks. And I think the goal would be this year that the receiving group is good enough through the first 7 games of the season where you don't have to do that again. But if you do, like I'd have to look, like where are we going to be at in terms of veteran receivers that maybe are in the final year of their contract. They probably also have to be on bad teams, right? Because, like, Devontae Adams is a veteran receiver that's in the final year of his contract. The Rams are not trading him at the trade deadline. They're going to be too good. So, trying to do that now, you have to find a bad team that has a good receiver on it that you think the Bills will be in play for in 4 months. That's like
barring
that's hard to do.
I think the only injury that would only happen injury. It would have to be an injury to DJ Moore. Otherwise, I just don't think it's in the cards.
Well, it could happen if the guys just don't produce again. DJ Moore is Josh Palmer 2.0. Like, that'd
be injury. That'd be injury.
Okay, that would be injury.
I mean, he got hurt.
DJ Moore being what he was last year in Chicago.
I think that would be not just like fine, but if he gets more targets, if he's a 120 target receiver, being the same guy he was in Chicago, that's 1,000 yards. Like I don't think things can change. If we're talking about adding another receiver, I don't see it. I don't know where it would happen. I think they're much more likely to add help at somewhere on the front 7, front 4, somewhere on the defensive line, because all these pieces that they're kind of throwing at it to see who will work. Michael Hoyt, is he going to be the difference maker they need? I just think it's much more likely that we were talking about defensive help.
I agree. Also, I'm looking at the list. If you did try to do who's a bad team that's got an expiring wide receiver that might get shopped as a rental at the deadline, your answer is basically there's one guy I see that makes sense, and that's Michael Wilson from Arizona. So maybe in 3 months he'll be a name that's out there.
He was ranked by Pro Football Focus as one of the top 32 receivers in football this year.
Really?
Ahead of DJ Moore.
Well, he finished the year great last season.
Did he get a vote from Jeremy Fowler's thing?
Oh, I'd be surprised about
that.
Again,
it's a ranking season.
I mean, he's good, but I would be surprised if he got in the top 24 guys for that list.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Johnny in Buffalo. Hey, Johnny, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Just wanted to talk a little bit about the World Cup. Yesterday was awesome watching Argentina come back and watch a bunch of dejected English fans. I don't know, for some reason I just never wanted to go home. It was just great to see the greatest player of all time, who I think is, just Messi, do his thing. And the memes going around with Sean McDermott clapping and coaching England, I thought were hilarious as well. Just absolute terrible coaching yesterday by England to just kind of park the bus. They were dominating the game and then just went all defensive when you've got guys like Saka on the bench and other guys who can just create, and the way they were controlling the game was just with their offense, and just really bizarre strategy to just sub everybody and try to defend against one of, if not the best player ever for 30-plus minutes. It was just bizarre.
It's like they played like they had a red card, and it was their only option.
Right.
You see 5 guys back there on that back line and just allowing cross after cross. It was just a very strange strategy when you've seen Argentina do that to teams, and that's the only way they were coming back, and the only way they were getting control. They had nobody who could beat you really one-on-one besides Messi. It was just bizarre. But anyway, when it comes to the Bills, I still think, and I don't know, I know you guys just were talking about receiver, but I still think we could use a little bit of help there. And free agent-wise, there's one guy out there who I know a lot of Bills fans don't want to see, but I would love, and that's Diggs. I just feel like he's still got a lot to offer as like a number 2, number 3 receiver. And he's got the familiarity with Josh Allen. You bring him in, he can play inside, he can play outside, he can play all over. You've got DJ Moore, you've got Shakir, and Diggs is that guy who can really move the ball on third down as well. And I just feel like having a reliable target in there, another guy, another weapon, just can add so much to this team. And I feel like this year, I know we've been a run team, run-heavy team. And I know it's been successful on the stats, and we're putting up points per game and whatever. I just feel like Joe Brady in this offense, I feel like we're going to see Josh open it up a bit more. You want him running less. You don't want him to get injured. And I feel like we can open up the running game by passing this year. And in the past, it's like, oh, let's run to pass. And I don't know. I just feel like I want to see a guy like Diggs. I don't want Deebo Samuel. It's just add Diggs, add the familiarity. I still love what he brought to this team. I love everything that he did for Josh Allen. I loved everything that he did for the He was a great receiver for the team, regardless of all of his off-the-field stuff. It's just he was excellent. And watching him come back in any capacity, I feel like would add an element to this team that we haven't had and would just add more receiver depth. So I don't know. I'd like to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Thanks, Johnny. I think there's no chance it happens. If you want the avenue, if you're someone that still wants another good receiver on this team, do you know when and how that's going to happen? Josh Palmer's going to leave. They're going to take the cap hit and save money and draft one. That's what's going to happen.
So not this season.
Nope. Because next year, what you'll have is, what do they save? Like $6 million if they get rid of Palmer? I mean, obviously, like he could have a good year, and that'd be great if he did, if he was a contributor. He's a nice role-playing receiver when he's healthy. He was just not healthy. Next year, they'd save $6 million by moving on. They'll save $6 million on the cap. They'll move on from Josh Palmer. Keon Coleman will be entering the final year of a deal. Are they going to extend him? I don't want to do any. There's a spot. Do you draft one? Moore will be entering an age 30 season. You have young Bell. You have Shakir. Like, that's it. It's a very, I regret to inform all of you, the wide receiver train will fire up in the draft, even if they win the Super Bowl, because just like it's right there.
Yeah.
Josh Palmer will be gone, and the next guy steps in, and I don't see a spot for anybody right now.
No, and if the furthest I'd go is they have one starting receiver spot or one role on receiver that will play a lot, that there are 3 maybes to fill. Palmer, Coleman, Skylar Bell. One of those 3 probably is able to fill the role of the third receiver by, how you want to do it, by targets, by just role, impact on the offense, behind DJ Moore and Khalil Shakir. Those are your 2 most important receivers on the team. The third guy, I'm not sure Palmer can do it. I'm actually would bet against it. I would probably bet against Coleman doing it too, and I would bet against Bell. But I only need one of the 3 to be able to do it.
Right.
And it's not like last year or the year before when Cooper or Cooks came in, when I was really replacing my number 1 perimeter receiver is what I was looking for. And if this go around, okay, I do have a hole on the short term, but it's not my top perimeter guy. It's more of the third guy on the offense at that position. Then I don't need to spend assets on that. That's when I talk about a Cooks, or I feel a little bit more okay saying, all right, what veteran receiver got cut that I could just bring in and play a little bit for me?
Yep.
That's not the role that I need to go spend a second-round pick at the deadline on a guy.
And Palmer, like, maybe he does get a lot of snaps out there and does stay healthy. You know his cap hit is this year, Josh Palmer's?
Isn't it like 11?
11.7.
Yeah.
Like, it's big money. You could just We go through this all the time. What's a good way to manage your cap? To just pay a second rounder that instead. They drafted a fourth rounder. Can Skylar Bell show enough this year to step into that spot? Maybe. 803-0550. We'll get a break in. Pick of the week, shots of audio, both still to come here on WGR. How much do you think the Sabres really want this move? It's been reported that the two have been talking for, of course, like weeks, and then it dies at the draft, and maybe it kicks back up. It goes back to early June. The report Hellebuck
Jeremy
says
White
he
here
wants
for
to go to Buffalo.
AAA insurance.
What level of interest do you think the Sabres have in getting it done, or how far along the way they might have gotten it done?
I think Yarmo's in a place of comfort because if he doesn't, if this trade doesn't happen, I think they're very comfortable with the setup they've got in goal with the guys they have. I think they're very comfortable with that. But if they can upgrade on that and also not give up everybody they think they're going to need to be able to make a run at the Cup, then I think that's a trade that can be made. But if Winnipeg is being really hard about and they should be really hard about the guys that they want in return, then maybe that's something that can't happen. But I mean, if it's the kind of thing where maybe behind the scenes there's an urgency from Hellebuck to say like, hey man, just, looking to do this as peacefully as possible. Let's get me out of here. Let's figure this out. If there's that kind of pressure, then maybe things get a little bit easier to make a trade happen. But this is a deal I think that got a lot tougher to do after July 1st. But there's ways around it. There's ways to get by it, and I don't know if it's necessarily any more comfortable for either side to pull the trigger on that. It's all the same.
How would Patrick Kane fit? Multiple forwards that would have to leave, probably. At least, we're already talking about a team that is overloaded at forward, and they just signed Krebs to an extension. And I'm just like over here thinking, is all this because of Hellebuck? Because they're going to send a second-line center and a second-line winger, you pick who those are, to Winnipeg for Hellebuck. There was a contract signed yesterday. You tell me who it was, because I saw it's a good comp for Jack Quinn, like $6 million per year.
Cole Perfetti from the Winnipeg Jets.
He signed in Winnipeg for $6 million. That's like, oh, there's your Jack Quinn future contract. Do you want to commit $6 million to Jack Quinn?
All right, Perfetti had 32 points in 68 games last season, which is less than what Jack Quinn had.
Okay, so Jack Quinn's a $6 million player. And his name has been reportedly out there quite a bit this offseason. We've heard of his name mentioned by a number of insiders. If you're identifying that you're not going to pay that guy, I don't know if Winnipeg will either, but I feel like I'm just, of all the players that you would think Kane would directly replace, who's the number one name?
Jack Quinn.
Yeah. Right?
Definitely Jack Quinn.
An offensively tilted player that can help you on the power play. And
which Quinn doesn't do. You would want him to do that for the role. You would probably think, hey, the type of guy that Jack Quinn is, which is an offensive dynamo that can produce offensively, but you aren't really sure what he's giving you in every other department. That type of guy on your team, you want to produce for you on the power play. And he doesn't. So Kane would ideally give you what Quinn does 5-on-5 and then give you more than that on the power play, and then you would be talking about an immediate upgrade. If you don't plan on giving Jack Quinn a long-term deal for, right, if it's $6 million per year, then what do I care that he's younger? Because all that matters now is, what are you doing for me this year? Because if this is a short-term relationship, he might as well be 35 years old, Jack Quinn. So I think Kane would fit if you're replacing that guy, or if they want to move McLeod off the team because Oslin's going to play third-line center. Like, whatever. You got to move a forward out for Kane to come in.
The pick of the week. It's brought to you by Riverfront Auto Sales. Riverfront Auto Sales. The pick of the week is a 2018 Jeep Wrangler featuring that iconic four-wheel drive capability, rugged styling, removable top for ultimate open-air freedom on your next summer adventure. When it comes to your next ride, it's got to be Riverfront Auto Sales. Test drive the beautiful 2018 Jeep Wrangler today at Riverfront. Go online to riverfrontautosales.com to check out their full inventory or stop by 1379 Niagara Street. The pick of the week is Sunday. Open
Sunday.
Championship and then the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Spain and Argentina. I'll be rooting for Argentina.
I will be also. I love watching Yamal play, though, so I will not be upset. I have no problem with Spain.
What are they wearing? The Argentina jerseys yesterday were gorgeous.
They were great.
They're so good.
You got to wear the other ones, though, in the final. You got to wear the classic blue and white stripes.
Who gets the pick? Does somebody get the pick? Because, you could wear the blue and white against Spain's white. Spain's are kind of like cream-colored white.
Yeah. I don't know who gets the... There's no, home side, I don't think.
I don't know.
Do teams have to declare, before the tournament starts, what you would wear in certain rounds or, in the final? What you would want to wear in the final? I don't know. Also, do the Argentina jerseys blue and white stripes, does that mean Spain could wear white? Or is that too much white?
That's what I wonder. Is the blue enough against the white? I don't think you'd want to do that.
Yeah.
I think you'd want dark versus light.
Okay.
Right? Spain has a red. It's probably going to be Spain's red against Argentina's white and blue.
I would say is
it's
best.
kind of color on color, which always looks good.
Yeah.
Why Argentina asked to wear its dark blue against England? They asked to by choice. They wanted to because they wore their away kit in 1986 for Maradona, Hand of God goal, blah, blah, blah. All right. I don't have an answer for you. I don't have time to read this. Joe's playing my outro music. When we get back, we're going to do shots of audio. But before that, there's been a crazy Major League Baseball story told by Theo Epstein of the Cubs, right? Executive Theo Epstein on the Game 7 2016 World Series between the Cubs and the then Indians. That is an absolutely incredible, unbelievable thing that didn't happen, but that the network asked for. That's next. When you see a team lose like that, collapse, devastation, something that they're going to think about for, 50 years, do you feel sadness for them or do you laugh about it happening? That's the question I want to know. They show England players. They show people in the stands dressed like knights all slumped over, When they show the sad faces, do you feel sad or do you feel like a schadenfreude, right? That's it, the happiness at others' misfortune. Do you feel any sort of, at least it's not us, it's somebody else, right? Is there enjoyment in others' pain?
I end up feeling like I want to laugh. So I guess enjoyment when
you enjoy it.
A team that has that history is going through that. Maybe it's because it's England, but I don't know why I would be rooting against England. I'm not participating in the let's go they choked in 1776 and they're choking in 2026.
Right.
Those are funny. Those jokes are funny. It's not the reason I'm rooting against them for any reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the manager. Maybe it's certain individual players on the team because I'm a Premier League fan. But I'm definitely not rooting for England when it happens. So, yeah, when they blow the lead like that, I'm enjoying it. I think what made me enjoy it yesterday even more, though, is I hate in sports when a team gets a lead and plays the way they did. I hate hockey. I hate it. We're up 2-1. Let's pack it in for 15 minutes. Let's not play the sport anymore.
Yeah.
We've been playing great for 40 minutes. Let's do something totally different because we're winning now. The football, same thing. Oh, I'm up by 7 in the fourth quarter. I can't actually play normal anymore. I've got to run the ball every single play. When teams take that approach, I hate it. And England just did that more than anybody's done it in the World Cup in like 70 years. The way that they packed it in. They had 12% possession after winning 1-0. That was the lowest in a World Cup match when winning for more than 10 minutes in 60 years.
I did see that. Yep, that exact number from
Opta Joe had that stat.
Opta Joe.
The World Cup final is set. Argentina advances after their 2-1 win over England yesterday. They will play Spain. Lamine Yamal versus Messi. That'll be this Sunday at 3 o'clock. If you're interested, the third place match set for Saturday at 5 between France and England. We've got the Sabres openers for next season. They'll be on the road to open on October 1st against Columbus, and the home opener is October 3rd against the Blackhawks. Paul Hamilton has more at our website, WGR550.com. The remainder of the schedule will be released today at 1 p.m. Also, Chris Chelios says he's spoken to Patrick Kane, and Kane is deciding between Buffalo and Chicago. Around the NFL, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that he doesn't think the Commanders are going to bring in Brandon Ayuk at this stage, and ESPN's Rich Cimini reports Geno Smith's assault allegations case has been declared inactive by police. In baseball, the Mets, they play the Phillies tonight at 7:10. The rest of the schedule picks back up tomorrow. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Joe Cali for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
England stopped playing when they scored a goal. I don't know why. Tuchel made some changes. He went too defensive, and Scaloni went more offensive. And the way Argentina was playing, they didn't panic. They kept attacking. They hit the post. They had a couple of chances before they scored the first goal, and they kept pushing. They didn't make some panic move. Scaloni kept pushing by putting more offensive players. Martinez came in the end. So, I mean, the best team won. Like
Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Yeah, I think everyone thought England blew it. They stopped playing.
They did.
Tough one.
Don't pack it in. Don't park the bus. There was a good tweet this morning, which was that at this World Cup, the football gods have been punishing cowardice, and nobody is learning. Don't pack it in and just say, "Oh, I'm up one. All right, good, done. Let me just pack into my own box now." Teams are getting the goals. They're finding their way through. You have the ball for 30 minutes at a time, and you get 50 tries at the box. Like, one of them going in is not that hard.
You know what I wondered is if the way England advanced by Mexico, which was what? They were down a man.
Yeah.
And they packed it in for 25 minutes
in Mexico
in a hostile environment, and they got the job done, and Mexico didn't really get any good chances.
No, all they did was cross it in over and over.
And I wonder if England thought, if all they're going to do is cross it on us, we are ready to go. We have 11, we'll be fine. I mean, Tuchel said he had no regrets, which means he thought he did the right thing.
There's a difference even in that, though. Like, Mexico was, like, crossing balls into the box from, like, everywhere. Like, they couldn't really get close. Messi was driving toward, like, he got low. He got below two guys, and where he passes it from is a more dangerous pass than I feel like when Mexico was attempting the week prior. And obviously Fernandez scores from distance. Like, that strike that he has. Mm-hmm. And he had been trying that all game.
He had one the play before.
Yeah.
That dude scores from distance all the time.
Right. So you should have expected he's going to be firing from that distance. And they allowed
back on that iconic World Series run. Lovable Reunion is what the podcast is titled. Epstein recalled a meeting. Cleveland's manager, the commissioner of the league, Rob Manfred, a meteorologist during the rain delay, and Manfred's eventual decision to play out the game like you're in a rain delay. Mm-hmm. The commissioner got a call. He takes the call. Epstein says, "I'm kind of listening," and I'm like, "That can't be who I think it was." And he hangs up, and he was like, "That was the head of Fox." So the commissioner hangs up. That was the head of Fox. They're asking about the rain. They said, "We can suspend this game right now and pick it up tomorrow night in prime time. It's going to be worth like 25 million more viewers." And he was like, "As tempting as that is, we can't bleeping do that. This is World Series Game 7.
Right.
Can you imagine Cubs-Indians, Game 7, call it, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
For extra innings.
I mean, the hype would have been insane.
It would have been one of the biggest.
It might have only lasted 20 minutes.
It was a 17-minute rain delay.
Yeah.
So in those 17 minutes, Fox brought up the idea, what about tomorrow night?
Oh, they would have loved that.
Oh, yeah.
Call all the sponsors. Sell more commercials. We're having more Game 7 tomorrow. Double Game 7. At that point with Fox, let's replay it. Let's redo the game tomorrow. The whole thing. 9 innings. Game 8. We'll call this one a tie, and we'll have Game 8 tomorrow.
Crazy. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. So, what a story. All right, let's get to our shots of audio. It's powered by Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet? Mr. Joe Cali, also known as Alt Joe.
Yes.
I was thinking about our parlay season. The Parlay Kings are getting closer.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
Getting closer.
Excited to ride.
Preseason is a couple weeks away.
The Parlay Kings, also known as the potential movie road trip guys to go see The Odyssey. The Odyssey at Rotten Tomatoes has a 98%.
Yes. Yep. Saw that. Also saw the direct comparison from someone in two theaters, in the 70mm IMAX and the regular.
Yeah.
Seeing it on the screen, you're missing a lot. Like the video you sent the other day showed it, but this shows it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no other way to go see it, but it'll be exciting. I'm all in for a road trip. We'll look now. Joe Flacco was mentioned yesterday. He's on the quarterback series on Netflix. So have you guys watched any season of that?
I always feel like whatever is worth seeing, you're going to get clipped to social media, so you don't need to watch
it. That's a good point.
That's true.
That's a good point.
I watched the first season and liked it. I've thought about watching this season, but same thing. Like, I've already seen clips that are interesting, so I don't know. I got to spend all the time to do it.
Yeah. I only watched the first season. I haven't watched one since. But Joe Flacco's kid, as you mentioned yesterday, throughout the World Cup of Joe, benched him in fantasy, and there's a hot mic from that.
If Dad goes off, I'm going to crash out.
What do you mean?
Because I benched him.
I hope he goes off.
I don't know what just happened.
He said if my dad goes off, I'm going to crash out.
Okay.
Meaning, like, go crazy. Because he benched him.
He benched him in fantasy.
Okay.
Right.
He benched his dad in fantasy.
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore.
And the clip continues in the show, and his wife says, I have him on my bench, too. So, not a lot
family.
Imagine like coming home for dinner that night, like Joe Flacco all excited, like I just threw for 350 yards. Like, oh, did you win your fantasy matchup today? Like, I got a lot of points for you. Like, yeah, I started golf.
That'd be tough. That's a tough scene. All right, to the ESPYs last night. There's some clips there. They had a comedian, just like last year, hosting it, but this doesn't come from that. Mike Tyson announced Shohei Ohtani as a winner. There's a sliver in here we got to pay attention for. It's right at the end, but here we go.
And the ESPY award goes to, check this out, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei could not be here tonight. He sends his gratitude and appreciation to ESPN and everyone who voted for him.
Shohei's a guy.
I'm sure he did.
Shohei's a guy.
So he said, so Shohei's yeah.
He didn't know who Shohei Ohtani was.
He didn't know that Shohei Ohtani existed.
He thought he had no idea it was a male athlete that he was announcing.
All right.
How famous do you have to be to not know who Shohei Ohtani is? Or how disconnected? I guess you don't have to be famous, but like, is he one of the...
Is he the most recognizable name in baseball right now?
Gotta be.
100%, like one of the, yeah.
Well, I guess Mike Tyson doesn't know any baseball players.
I guess not.
Yeah, nobody else is recognizable as him right now, worldwide especially.
No, for sure.
I guess if you're not a sports fan at all, maybe there are. I wonder what that would be like compared to other sports. Have more people? I mean, more people definitely know who Josh Allen are in the United States, right? Because football is king.
Yeah. I would say that.
Like, to the non-sports fan, go at your grandma that doesn't watch sports.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, do you know who... I mean, tough because, don't ask Alan because we're in Buffalo.
Right.
Do you know who...
Aaron Rodgers.
Sure. No? Yes? Do you know who Shohei Ohtani is? I could see it, I guess.
Yeah.
Not knowing who Ohtani is.
That's tough, though.
On the stage with Mike Tyson was Jake Paul and DJ Khaled, so I don't know what was going on there.
That was a three-person.
Quite a show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So moving on from the ESPYs, that was the only clip I got from there.
You didn't wait. You don't have the Savannah Bananas musical number that opened the ESPYs?
No.
Oh.
That existed?
With DJ, I mean, I'm like, what is happening?
I'll have to get that. I'll have to get that at some point. We go to the Dan Patrick Show. We heard the Mike McDonald, comment about, who gave him the insider tip. Dan Patrick kind of dismantles Kevin O'Connell's coach speak here.
We have a good plan in place to try to make sure we allow this thing to get to a place where we feel good about it, but also prepare the guy that's going to be our starter for the regular season.
Yeah, I think Kyler will do a good job as your starter.
But how do we
go Vikings?
Go Vikings.
Yeah.
Skol. There we go.
Couldn't come back from that.
That
no
is
way back.
Wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah, on the spot, on the hot mic like that. I mean, it's got to be Kyler Murray, right?
Don't even try to hide from it if you're O'Connell. Just announce.
Well, Mike Florio earlier this week was reporting that he thinks J.J. McCarthy could very well win this job.
He has to say that, right? Doesn't he have to say that? How long into training camp before they say Kyler Murray's our starting quarterback? A day? A week?
If you want to keep Justin Jefferson happy, it might be pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Because if he starts hearing J.J. McCarthy whispers, it might not continue.
I think that's going to work there.
I agree.
I think
if Darnold showed anything, I think a quarterback that was struggling at one point goes to Kevin O'Connell. Like, that system just seems to work. So hopefully it continues. I've got him as a super flex quarterback in a dynasty league, so I'm really rooting for it. But we look to the PGA now. We've had a couple. We talked about Tommy Fleetwood, I think, about being asked about legacy and what to look forward to and what people will remember him for. Rory McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler got asked the same question, and it got pretty morbid. So here are their two responses.
How concerned are you with your legacy? Do you think about that kind of thing? Does it matter to you since you won't be here? I mean, how does that go?
I would like to think that the people that love and care about me think
a certain way of me, but yeah, I'll be long gone. I'll be dead. I don't think I'll be seeing what people say about me. I'll be 6 feet under. I don't think I'll be a ghost. Yeah, I don't care.
So that's Rory's response.
I don't think I'll be a ghost.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of the golf media saying, like, what's wrong with everybody? Nobody cares about their legacy. I don't know. The idea, like, the question, one of the ones maybe was phrased in this, like, people 100 years from now, what they think of you, I won't care, is an entirely appropriate response.
Yeah.
Right.
No one born yet, like, in 100 years...
It'll be
Does
the next
Babe
group.
Ruth care what I think about him? Why would he? Why should he? I think it's a very healthy and normal thing because everyone's trying to write you about your legacy. Like, I don't know, man, I'm trying to win some golf tournaments, be a good person. It'd be great to win. I like winning.
Right.
People in 100 years, what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's such
The heat death of the universe will come, and like I don't think that my Wanamaker jugs are going to make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
what it is people
Claret
want
jug. Sorry, claret jug. Wanamaker trophy. That's a big mistake.
There you go. I think it's just me. Like, how big can we make it? Okay, well, what sounds big and crazy? A legacy in 100 years. That sounds impressive and large and like this big deal. I should ask. And then you've got a bunch of golf guys that are like, golf is as mental a game as there is. I'm sure they all have sports psych guys, and I am sure all of them tell them, don't ever think about anything like that.
Yeah.
Don't ever talk about it because all it's going to do is turn you into a pretzel.
Right.
So just, it doesn't matter. Be disconnected from it. So you're never going to get a guy to go like, yeah, well, actually, I'm really like, if I don't win, if I don't win tonight, I'm going to go home and I'm going to be really, really upset and broken up. And like, well, nobody's ever going to say that to you.
Let me tell you how much legacy conversation is done for LeBron James. It makes every conversation about him annoying.
Right.
Every
Can he
ESPN
just
headline.
play?
Yeah.
Like, I get that it's legacy, this, and every single Super Bowl is like, what does this mean for Tom Brady? I don't know, man. Can I just have a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Can I just get on with my life? Now I'm old man yelling at clouds.
Speaking of LeBron, we might get that today, huh? You see that?
Oh, please.
Oh, boy.
The Fanatics.
The voice memos have taken.
The Fanatics Fest in New York. He's doing a live Mind the Game podcast, and there was some Tyrese Halliburton Instagram post that might imply that he is going to announce today. And Steve Kerr got stopped at a traffic stop.
I got to stop all my calls. I got to cancel my golf round so I can sit by my phone to find out where LeBron's going to play.
You're like this, though. Steve Kerr got stopped at a traffic stop yesterday and said that he thinks he's going. He said, we got him. A fan said, we're getting LeBron. He said, oh, we got him.
He bushed it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Steve Kerr did that yesterday.
At a traffic stop?
At a traffic stop.
By a
Is this
policeman?
a citizen's arrest? What do we got here?
What?
Okay, sorry, red light.
Okay, all right.
No, that is a traffic
It
stop.
is. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
It's in the Frosty the Snowman song.
He
so
was
it is
at
true.
a red light. He said, we got him.
We got him.
That's awesome.
Okay, in that case, I like it. Every other thing LeBron does, I will not like.
Well, you just want him to go to the Warriors.
I do.
Yeah.
Very, very much. Yes.
Has he not dragged this out? So like, I forgot about it 5 different times that he's doing
Oh,
this.
careful. He'll call you to let you know it's still happening.
Please.
He'll
send a voice
leave you a voice memo.
Voice memo. He
Yeah.
needs everybody to know it's still happening.
I can't, like, dude, I don't care this much to care about it for 3 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Just choose your team and then, go on your tour.
Yeah.
Man.
Right.
And I love him. He's like, he's awesome.
It's almost, it's not approaching Aaron Rodgers 100%.
Nah.
But
I mean, it's pretty
it
close.
actually kind of is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's pretty Rodgers-y.
Just pick your team and let's do this.
Yeah.
Like, stop dragging it out. No darkness retreats, though, so I guess that's the one thing.
I guess he's earned it more than Aaron Rodgers.
That
in my
is
opinion.
definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's also still good. Aaron Rodgers was 41 doing this and stunk. LeBron is still great.
Right.
Did Rodgers
And that's
stink?
where it's also different.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yes.
stunk. He
Yeah.
stunk. And LeBron is still excellent.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I've Scotty Scheffler's response to the question as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll move to the next one. Rory McIlroy, a week ago, this clip circulated, and I was like, this can't not be a shot of audio. He takes a shot. Every regular golfer, just any average golfer can relate.
Oops. This is no good.
Oh. Oh my God, I'm so bad at golf.
I'll swap you anytime.
I'll swap with you anytime.
That's the perfect response.
That's really good. Yeah. Wow. I hadn't heard the announcer tag him with that at the end. That's pretty awesome.
I do like the golf mindset of like you are not allowed to get mad because the guys that are the best in the world think they stink too.
Everybody stinks.
Everybody stinks.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, this game is horrible. Why do we do this?
I literally said that to Owen since I've started like taking it up little by little.
Why do we do it?
This is so frustrating. It's just infuriating me every time we go do this. So.
Right.
But it's fun.
A birdie will last a long time.
Yes. I still remember like the first actual golf shot I ever hit when I was playing, and like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I see now.
Hey, I mean, Joe's playing a member guest this weekend. Win a tournament.
Yeah.
You're telling me. Give me
Like
a win this week.
we talked about this. Nate has a win and a member guest. I won a member guest last year also. You asked, would you rather have a member guest or a hole-in-one? I don't have a hole-in-one.
I think member guest is more rare though.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have hole-in-ones. Not a lot of people have won member guest tournaments.
That's true.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
I was as stunned as anybody.
I'm still broken up about my 2 almost hole-in-ones over the weekend.
I know.
It was really tough.
On a
Well,
par
we're playing
4?
today.
On
Listen,
a par 4.
we have to figure out the format we're playing. Big Dog and I are playing. Owen and Bulldog and another buddy of ours, Brett. So, like, proper match. Are we going to play 13? We're not playing Wolf. I don't like Wolf.
I don't love
Play
Wolf either.
Terminator golf.
What's that one?
You win the hole, you get rid of a club.
Not good.
Of the others and the other
Dumb.
partners.
I'm
Terminator
not here for your gimmicks.
So if Owen and Bulldog win a hole, then they get to say, all right, you two, you're not using a 7-iron rest of the round.
That's dumb. I want to play real golf.
Man.
That's some. And what do you end up with? 4 clubs at the end?
Who knows?
That's why Bryson DeChambeau's missing
All
cuts.
about creativity and right. Better learn how to use that driver from 150 yards away.
2-man best ball.
Got to putt with the driver.
Yeah. Great.
What would the first club you take away be?
Driver for
Driver.
Owen. Owen smashes driver 700 yards.
He's going to hit a 3-wood. Like,
less far.
Less far. Although my 3-wood is pretty hot.
I'd be taking wedges away immediately. Take the wedges away.
I'm hitting a 52 instead of a 56.
I use
whatever will I do?
I'm going to try to get to
Whatever
a place
will
where
I do?
Now, by the back 9, I want you to have no wedges.
Oh, you'd be fine. You'd be fine. Open up the face of a 9-iron. You're fine.
Yeah. Be able to make that work.
Wait, you could just flop shot a 9-iron and
You
have
can't
it go
flop
well?
shot, but the reality is you probably don't need flop shots.
Right.
Probably
How many
chip it
times
up
do you
there.
actually need to hit a flop shot? Like once every 3 months?
Listen, sometimes you got to go over a bunker. Maybe you're in the bunker.
Sure.
What can you do then?
Putt it out.
That's the
That
shot
you
spot,
can't.
yeah.
You
Wait,
can't
we
do
need
that.
one more. We need the guy, the smoking golfer. I sent it to you.
Oh, the guy with all the.
It's on.
all
I
the
sent it to you
darts.
on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, I'll grab it.
So this is his name is Daniel Brown, and I saw first there was a quote, and the quote, one of those ones where you see the transcript and like, that's kind of weird. Why is he talking about that? And then we have the audio. So the quote was, he gets asked a lot about smoking cigarettes. The question that I saw highlighted, did you ever come to the open as a kid? My dad actually used to smoke. I was told him when I was a kid to stop smoking. Then he did stop, and then I ended up starting. That was the answer to did you come to the open as a kid? Here's Daniel Brown talking about his round today. He is in the clubhouse with the lead. Curtis Smalley right now is 1 stroke ahead and could go in with the lead. Smalley's born in Rochester, by the way. Anyway, here's Daniel Brown, current leader in the clubhouse at the Open Championship.
I believe you're partial to a cigarette when you're out on the fairway.
Yes.
Given the conditions at the moment, has anybody said anything to you? Are you still allowed to have a smoke while you're out there, or are you at a fire risk?
I haven't been told otherwise, but I've been making sure that they're out.
When you stop out onto, right, okay. So you're still managing to have a smoke, right? Okay.
Hopefully for the rest of the week.
How many do you think you
There might be a big drop off by Sunday if I'm not allowed.
How many do you think you had today?
Probably. Sorry, Mum. I'm probably on like 7 or 8 around, I would say.
Right. It helps with the nerves, does it?
Stress levels go up, then the more probably I end up having.
Should it be a performance-enhancing drug? Should they regulate it? I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Did you ever
That's not
come
for me to answer,
to the
hopefully.
Open as a kid?
My dad actually used to smoke, and I always told him when I was a kid to stop smoking, and he did stop, and then I ended up starting.
What are the
So to recap, this guy is ripping 7 to 8 cigs a round
per round,
and says as the stress goes up, I smoke more.
Yeah.
I end up having more. We need him on Sunday in the final pairing. What television it would be. He says he's making sure they're out. I hope that Heather isn't too dry.
I know.
Like, but that's Daniel Brown.
That's hardcore.
7 to 8 cigarettes around to calm his nerves. Have you been told you're not allowed to? I haven't been told otherwise. And he says, what if they do? It'd be pretty rough if they told me I can't have a cigarette.
Yeah.
That's Daniel Brown.
I saw a couple of years ago, I think it was Charlie Hull, one of the LPGA girls, was like hacking darts the whole way.
She
too.
is, yes.
And that's basically what we're going to do today. We're basically going to go smoke 10 cigarettes.
Yeah,
while
pretty
playing
much.
golf in this, but that seems scary.
Sorry, I just saw something. It's like a punch in the face.
Oh, no.
I saw you reacting.
Yeah,
I was like, what's happening over
Thought it
there?
was the smoke. Smoke's in.
You want
entered
it?
the studio.
You want it? We'll discuss it on the other side.
By the
Eat
way,
it on the other side.
Smells like smoke outside our doors here in the building.
Oh, no.
Which is where people are opening to come in and out.
So Dom Lecision of The Athletic. My annual off-season look at which NHL teams improved the most this summer.
Oh man.
1 through 32. Where are the Buffalo Sabres?
How much they improved? They're going to be near the bottom.
Teams that improved this offseason, 1 through 32. Where are the Buffalo Sabres?
24th.
26th.
Yeah, I would say I'll go 28.
I'm still writing the F's in my oof.
Oh, no.
32.
Oh.
Like a dagger.
Just so we're clear, improved the least means got worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I might be needing a cigarette. After
Fine.
that.
It's fine.
Where's Friedman when you need him?
Missed my shot there, too. All right, we'll get a break in.
I do have an iteration of World Cup of Joe. If
And we're back.
The vibes. Thank you.
The vibes of return.
Vibes of return.
Need that.
We
It's,
do have a review we have to call in a question, do we not?
Yeah, right.
Enough with the parrots. Enough.
Yeah, right. There are multiple towns in
No.
Argentina being overrun by parrots.
Not capitals. And the clue was a capital city. You're giving me towns in Argentina where there are wild parrots that are attacking people. Is that what's happening?
Just saying. I don't really know what I'm saying. All right, World Cup of Joe, final edition. The championship edition
This
of
is the championship
World
edition.
Cup of Joe. Spain and Argentina next. One thing we're seeing early, Brian, Bryson DeChambeau is actually looking pretty good. He's caught a fair share of criticism. Maybe he gets even more when he goes over there to the Open Championship just because of Jeremy Whatever. White here, personality, River, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel like he is under the microscope to start producing in majors again? He was in it not too long ago, but I mean, he's got to do something because it feels like he's fading out of the golf picture, on the tour at least.
Yeah, I think people are mocking him, calling it the Bryson Slam, that he might miss all 4 cuts this year at the major. He's missed the cut at the Masters, at the PGA, and at the U.S. Open. So, yeah, it could happen. I mean, he's off to a good start here so far, being at 2 under par. So, yeah, I mean, maybe, this event has been the one major that he really has never contended in. And a lot of it, again, too, is that you have to be creative and you have to hit different kind of shots. And Bryson wants to play the kind of shots that he wants to hit. A lot of times he's very stubborn. We see that even at Augusta National sometimes, where placement is more important than necessarily power. And he doesn't necessarily always buy into that manner. And he just wants to hit his shot in his manner. And sometimes it costs him. So I'd be curious to see maybe if he's been humbled a little. I know a lot of talk is he caring more about being a YouTube star than he is being a world-dominating golfer. We know he's so talented. If he bounced back and was in contention this week, it wouldn't be surprising at all because he is, we know, one of the most talented players in the world. But this year he definitely struggled. I'm sure he's maybe feeling a little bit like, hey, I've got to do something this year. Otherwise, on paper, it would be a disaster because we know he doesn't play on the PGA Tour. So when do we see him in meaningful events? 4 times in the 4 majors. And if he misses all 4 cuts, I mean, that would be labeled as a huge disappointing year for him.
Final edition, championship edition of the World Cup of Joe.
Yep.
We're going to find like a replacement game. We need a new game.
End of an era.
What's the next game? It's like a training camp game we can play.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's got to be something for that. Greg Bauk, once upon a time, way back, I remember used to run training camp fantasy football.
Yeah.
Where you'd get points for like your player being
Tweeted
mentioned
about
in the
or something.
newspaper.
Yeah.
Now
Like a color picture was worth more than a black and white picture.
Keon Coleman might be the first overall pick.
Or
right, like would you do it based on how many highlights from you'd have to do it from the Bills account, wouldn't you? Like, there's a clip of Keon mossing an intern. That's 5 points.
I feel like there could be a list of approved
sources.
All right.
You know.
Someone's so-and-so's having a real good camp.
Right.
Any of that?
Your player gets described as being in the best shape of their life.
Oh.
5 points.
Lots of energy out of this guy.
Yep.
Now you're talking about bingo. Training camp bingo.
That's
Maybe
right.
bingo is
might be the
All right. Final edition, World Cup of Joe, Argentina, Spain. These are your two nations. We're not playing third place game. Not recognizing it.
Okay.
Not recognizing it.
I mean, I'm not going to watch probably any of it. Argentina and Spain. New York on Sunday. 3 facts each. You got to match them up. Fact number 1. This country's known as the land of rabbits.
Okay. Argentina or Spain. Okay.
All right.
This country has the...
I look forward to finding out that both of these countries are overrun with rabbits.
I mean...
After Joe's crack research team has really...
I have been...
Were there budget cuts over the World Cup of Joe? Is that what happened?
Our scouting team got,
slashed.
Poached. This country has the world's largest sea shadow.
Sea shadow.
A volcano casting a shadow over water.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Sea shadow.
Like that.
This country is the largest dinosaur fossils ever found.
Okay.
First human born in Antarctica from this country.
Okay.
Okay.
A large number of people in this country believe an old wives' tale that mixing watermelon and red wine is deadly. And that you should not do it.
All right.
And finally, home to a festival where human pyramids can reach up to 10 stories high.
Whoa.
Human Tower Festival, basically.
Okay.
I'm scared of that.
There's a lot of playing the player, not playing the game now that we're in our final edition.
I was just thinking that.
So
too.
much playing the player. Like, shouldn't we assume the first human born in Antarctica is not Argentina, but is instead Spain?
Right.
But does he want us to think that and switch back on us? Similarly, world's largest sea shadow, right? We got the Andes Mountains, but
is there some volcano in
what
Spain?
about the Rock of Gibraltar itself?
Ah.
It's on the sea, right? Could that be?
These are all interesting thoughts to have.
These are just some preliminary thoughts I've got.
I like these are good thoughts.
I do too. I like the dino fossil potentially for Argentina. If we think back to Pangea.
Yes.
Oh, love a Pangea
If we think
reference.
back to Pangea.
Yes.
Great line.
Remember back in the day.
How far removed were the dinosaurs from Pangea?
I don't know actually. Would they not be on Pangea or was it
Dinosaurs
separate at
were
that point?
around a long time. So I would
Pangea broke apart 200 million years ago.
I'm pretty sure.
Was it not the meteor?
I think it might have been.
I'm pretty sure we are closer right now to the last dinosaurs than the last dinosaurs are to the first dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure that is true.
Wow. So they reigned
That's
supreme
how
for a while.
millions they spanned, yeah. I'm pretty sure about that. That's not part of my game. I didn't.
They ruled the
double check
Earth.
that. What? Do you think I'm wrong?
No, I mean, they were around. All right, I'm on a dinosaur timeline right now. This is not cheating. I'm just looking at the dinosaur timeline. That's all I want here. I don't know. Which country has this?
What
do we like?
I like your Argentina Pangea guess.
Yeah.
Although I don't know. Yeah, let's do it.
Correct. The Patagonia region is the heavyweight capital of the world for dinosaur fossils.
Let's go. Good.
You.
Massive.
Do you know I'm listening to a book that has a lot about dinosaurs in it right now?
Yeah.
You know what it's called?
Jurassic Park, the book.
No.
The novelization.
Yeah.
No. This book is called, let me pull up the official, The Story of Birds.
Oh, yeah.
Which are basically dinosaurs.
Birds are dinosaurs. Yes, yes. The Story of Birds. Steve Brusette, who did another one. I think I read another one of his books.
What appealed to you about that? You saw a book, the Story of Birds. That looks good.
Joe, I'm 47 years old.
I'm going to read a bird book.
When you get to your 40s, you just start liking birds.
Do you have one of those?
It's uncontrollable.
Do you have one of those bird feeders that has like the camera on it that you can like just go into the app whenever you want? And
yeah,
of course.
That's what happens to you. It's biological. You just start liking and being interested in birds.
I'll tell you the most old man thing is getting that because you're into birds now and not figuring out how to work it.
No, so that's just a bird feeder.
That is what my dad.
Right, that's a bird feeder.
That is how my dad went about it.
Traditional.
Yes.
Yes.
And then there's another layer you get to when you're even older, which is when you start feeding birds at the park. Right.
You buy a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Have you done that yet? Go down to the park with a loaf of bread?
Not since
You're
I was-
probably not supposed to do that.
I haven't done that since I was
Definitely
like
not.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeding ducks bread. That's.
I used to do that at Fantasy Island. Throw some bread in there.
Same. Well, not bread. They had like the little things you put a quarter in, and then you throw the duck feed in there.
Feed. Yeah. Okay.
So you got you're 1 for
We
1.
got dinosaurs. We're 1 for 1.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, moving here.
Back to your point about how the dinosaurs are closer to.
We'll worry about that in Extendo.
No, you're right. You're right.
It is true. Yes.
They're 190 million year reign.
Yeah.
And it was only 66 million years ago that it ended. So you're right.
So by a lot.
Yeah.
It's way close. We're way closer.
Anyway, someone tweeted in that Gibraltar is part of the United Kingdom. It's not Spain.
Oh boy.
Technicality. I mean, it's
boy.
right there on Spain. How's that possible?
True.
How is that possible? It's not Spanish.
It is a British overseas territory.
Wow. You know what? Now I'm rooting for Argentina.
There it is.
All right. In that case, I don't know. Whatever you guys want here.
I think let's try Argentina for the mountain.
Yeah, how is Gibraltar owned? Like where it is on the map, that makes zero sense.
Yeah. Okay,
All
so
right,
he
anyways.
wasn't looking there, so Argentina's our guess. Spain's. Not only that, but most of Spain is West Coasty.
Right.
Sea shadow. Could happen in the morning. It could happen in the morning.
West
Could happen
Coasty.
in the morning, not just sunset. You could have a shadow in the sunrise.
Could.
Okay.
Sure. You could.
Sure.
We're going to go Argentina because of the Andes.
Incorrect. Mount Tide of the Canary Islands.
Boo.
40-kilometer shadow.
Boo.
Volcano.
Islands.
Islands.
This should be mainland World Cup of Joe.
Do you say you went? Have you been to Portugal?
I mean, I do say
That was an island.
I do say not really. Yes, but no. Yes, Madeira is Portuguese. It's Portugal.
All right. Well, you're 1 for 2.
All right.
Largest sea shadow.
Land of the Rabbits. I think that's Spain.
Yeah, because the dinosaurs would have killed all the rabbits in Argentina.
Bang. They got them.
Correct. It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Spain.
Look at that logic.
That's why there's no rabbits in
Respect.
Argentina. Everybody knows that.
Land of rabbits.
Human Pyramid Festival is Spain.
That's an official guess.
Mm-hmm.
Lock it in. Yeah, 10 stories high.
Wow.
Imagine
Tower
being the guy
Festival.
on the bottom of that.
How do you
that
get
pile.
down?
Well, it's like a pyramid. Like there's a lot of people at the bottom.
Right.
Apparently.
Spain, in putting this game together, I have found has the craziest festivals I've ever heard of.
Oh, I can imagine.
And they have a million of them.
Right.
Like
they know how to party.
Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
this is one of them.
What's left? What
do we
didn't we
got
get?
left? We
Spain
gotta
versus
get-
Argentina.
You are only
Watermelons?
Watermelon wine.
watermelon, and
Antarctica.
red wine. Antarctica.
Okay, Antarctica is going to be Spain.
Antarctica's Argentina.
Oh,
What an easy one.
well, I mean, I thought we were playing the player.
I know.
I mean, I thought maybe you'd think Spain exploration.
No,
you know.
I would have thought the
No,
place
it's
very
the
close to Argentina.
Proximity is
Yeah.
way
well,
takes
you
way
were
more
wrong.
precedent.
You should have stuck with it.
It's right past the Drake Passage, right?
They did it on purpose, by the way, because they wanted it as a mechanism to claim Antarctica as their own.
Anchor base.
We're going to send someone there, have a
To be
baby there.
born.
That now this country is ours.
Now it's just cold Spain.
Did that child become the king of Antarctica?
I discovered that 11 children have been born on Antarctica, and they're all either from Chile or Argentina. And you are out of Spain spots here. So large number of people believe mixing watermelon and red wine is deadly.
Is there a reason behind
Argentina. It's an old wives' tale. That's it.
Well, I guess they don't drink watermelon wine now that exists.
All right. Our final edition of World Cup of Joe.
What a wonderful game.
Yes,
It's
we
a
had
good run.
we had such a good run for the last month. Thrilling. I learned so many things. How many things do we take away? What's your top memory you remember?
I mean, Spain has a festival where a city burns itself down every year. They rebuild it out of wood.
The thing I'm going to remember is the parrots in London, where there are not that many.
Come on,
There's not even that many.
50,000. We had a question last week when you're off about the hippo problem in where was that? Colombia?
Yes.
And it's like 150 of them.
Yes,
I think I was here for that one.
The hippo problem.
Yeah, but hippos are a way bigger issue than parrots.
150 hippos is a bigger problem than
I mean-
50,000 parrots.
Hippos eat people.
Right.
Parrots. I mean, parrots in a vacuum, I guess. If they did what the bees do and just flap their wings on somebody, they could cook them.
Parrots would not do very well in a
They
vacuum.
do what the bees do.
Have you not seen this?
Cook
the bees. They
This is the bee thing is right, but I don't think that parrots are going to do it.
the bee ball they call it.
Yeah, they can.
Bee-ball.
They swarm around.
I don't know
They're
this,
predator.
no.
They're like a wasp is attacking a bee's nest.
Yeah.
The bees swarm around and flap and vibrate their wings really fast, and
And
it
they
just cooks it.
Kill it with heat and kill it. Yeah.
Spain has a festival where people that narrowly escaped death in the past year get carried through the streets in an open coffin and they like wave.
Whoa.
It's called the Festival of the Living Dead.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
How, do you have to submit an application?
Right.
Like, was I close enough to dying for me to get into the festival?
Wow.
How do they
Santa
verify?
Maria it's a way of giving thanks to the Saint of Resurrection.
Love it.
Survivors are carried through the streets. Yep.
That's awesome.
All right, go Messi, go Argentina.
Yep.
And go Matt Fitzpatrick.
Fleetwood.
Yeah,
His big pants.
Tommy is not off to a good
I
start.
don't think he's wearing the big
I
pants.
Not only that, he's +1.
Yeah,
like he's
I know.
5 strokes off the lead early.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yep. All right, Extendo Sports. Then we're back on WGR. How would Patrick Kane fit? Multiple forwards would have to leave, probably. At least, I mean, we're already talking about a team that is overloaded at forward, and they just signed Krebs to an extension. And I'm just like over here thinking, is all this because of Hellebuck? Because they're going to send a second-line center and a second-line winger, you pick who those are, to Winnipeg for Hellebuck. There was a contract signed yesterday. You tell me who it was, because I saw it's a good comp for Jack Quinn, like $6 million per year.
Cole Perfetti from the Winnipeg Jets.
He signed in Winnipeg for $6 million. That's like, oh, there's your Jack Quinn future contract. Do you want to commit $6 million to Jack Quinn?
All right, Perfetti had 32 points in 68 games last season, which is less than what Jack Quinn had.
Okay, so Jack Quinn's a $6 million player. And I don't his name has been reportedly out there quite a bit this offseason. We've heard his name mentioned by a number of insiders. If you're identifying that you're not going to pay that guy, I don't know if Winnipeg will either, but I feel like I'm just, of all the players that you would think Kane would directly replace, who's the number one name?
Jack Quinn.
Yeah. Right?
Definitely Jack
An
Quinn.
offensively tilted player that can help you on the power play. And
which Quinn doesn't do. You would want him to do that for the role. You would probably think, hey, the type of guy that Jack Quinn is, which is an offensive dynamo that can produce offensively, but you aren't really sure what he's giving you in every other department. That type of guy on your team, you want to produce for you on the power play. And he doesn't. So Kane would ideally give you what Quinn does 5-on-5 and then give you more than that on the power play, and then you would be talking about an immediate upgrade. if you don't plan on giving Jack Quinn a long-term deal for, right, if it's $6 million per year, then what do I care that he's younger? Because all that matters now is, what are you doing for me this year? Because if this is a short-term relationship, he might as well be 35 years old, Jack Quinn. So I think Kane would fit if you're replacing that guy, or if they want to move McLeod off the team because Oslin's going to play third-line center. Like, whatever. You got to move a forward out for Kane to come in.
Open Championship is underway. A big golf tournament means that, for me, one of my favorite things to track is, of course, the golf tracker accounts of each player, including, Tiger Tracker was famous, Scheffler's, Army, whatever. And, of course, you get to, the deeper polls, like Bobby Mack's Infantry. Yeah. And they're always just tweeting out what he does, or Thomas Dietrich's Denison, or whatever. It's always funny. Please. How many people are invested in Ryan Gerard? But there's an account out there
there's
for
an account,
it. There's an
tracker.
account letting you know they're out there.
Probably wherever he's from is probably the majority of that one.
Yeah.
Although he's from Jupiter, Florida.
Ryan Gerard?
I feel like there's a lot of golfers.
Oh, yeah.
Already that. I mean, they have a. What's the simulator league called?
TGL?
They have a TGL team named after them.
All right. We're back tomorrow. You're off.
I'm off tomorrow.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck in the tourney.
Back on Monday.
Sabres schedule comes out today.
84 games.
Tomorrow, we're going to have Pete Gwelly on the show to talk about the Sabres' upcoming season and all things that go with that. We'll also check in with Nick Mendola, a World Cup final preview, Spain and Argentina. Carl Jones is going to join us tomorrow, too, to talk a little football. So we're loaded up tomorrow. Joe's going to go win a golf tournament, hopefully, and we'll see you tomorrow here on WGR.